Yes, everyone, you know what time it is. It's your boys Jack and Dave here to provide you second to last watch along of the season. And this is probably the weirdest watch along maybe of the season. Let's be perfectly frank here. People are so torn. People are just feeling strange and conflicted, going through mental battles, moral conundrums, all these different questions running through their head, what they really want, what they would actually like to see, what would make them happiest. And I think it's all going to be answered for us in, almost 30 minutes time. It's about to get started here, Davo. Plenty of kind of cool stuff to talk about, I must say, when it comes to what Ange has gone for, the lineup that he's chosen, the people that he has on the bench, and, plenty of other things, as well that I think we'll get stuck into. But how are you, fresh off of Weird Time TV, Dave? I mean, I think maybe we'll start with the first a positive, because I know like plenty of people in the chat will give us their thoughts on what they would like the outcome to be. I think we gave a lot of our thoughts on it, of course, in the pre-match build-up and as well as to the members. But on the lineup, Dave, isn't it beautiful to see this here? We have some really young talent and representation from the academy. I'll go through maybe the starting 11 first. Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro at right back, Romero at right side at center back, Dragusin in there again with Van de Ven. We'll talk about that in just a second. Some people are upset with Ange that he's waited so long, only until this game, to play that move. And then we have Højbjerg, Bentancur, Pop Matasar, Madison, Son, and Johnson. Lots of midfielders, not so many wingers. And then he has Austin on the bench, Royale, Skip, and then this is where it gets really cool. We have Tyrese Hall, the really talented, if dare I say underrated actually, guy in our academy, because he doesn't really get, I think, always as much airtime as maybe he deserves for how talented he is. Lo Celso, Brian Hill, Kulusevski, and then Mikey Moore as well in there. And then Dane Scarlett, get to see Dane Bappe in there another time. But Dave, I mean, what are your thoughts on seeing Tyrese Hall and Mikey Moore making the bench yet again?
Do you know what? The bench is something I'm liking. I like to see, Jack. This is something I was hoping would evolve as the season went on. That you'd start seeing some of these talents come through and be given the opportunity. Look, make no mistake about it, if Basuma wasn't injured, Tyrese Hall probably wouldn't be in the squad today. However, the fact that he's being rewarded over other players, shows how good he has been. Like this kid has had a phenomenal sort of rise this season. Jack, if you remember when we watched the cup final last year, I remember talking about Tyrese Hall. I remember saying to you, this kid's work rate, I picked it out. I said this kid's work rate will serve him well. And since then, he's gone on to develop a hell of a lot in terms of on the ball. He started off the season in the under 18s, smashing it for them. Then got called up to the under 21s. Continued to grow, in the under 18s, he was scoring goals, assisting goals, and he looked levels above. And the question would be, okay, he's too good for there. Bring him up to the under 21s. How would he fare? And he's continued on in the exact same trajectory, scoring goals, dictating midfield, assisting goals, turning the ball over. He was absolutely sensational the other night, and he's now in the end. He's now in the senior team come the end of the season. Whether he gets minutes or not tonight, I question, because he does have a big cup final on Thursday night. I would like to see him be rewarded with a couple of minutes off the bench towards the end. It's a really proud day for his mother, his father, and his family. So congratulations to them. And it's a good way. I hope he does get that debut, because it's only a couple of weeks ago he signed a 5-year contract extension at Tottenham Hotspur. He scored 2 at the weekend, or he scored 2 against Liverpool at the weekend to celebrate it. And now he's on the bench for the senior team. So what a meteoric rise, and what a week for the kid in terms of the 5-year deal, 2 goals, and then now into the senior team on the bench. I mean, I feel like a bit of a proud father right now, Jack, because I've been behind this kid ever since I laid my eyes on him in terms of how he's played. Same with Donnelly and things like that. But I'm absolutely delighted for the kid. Whether he gets minutes or not remains to be seen. But I feel like we're starting to slowly get rid of the deadwood out of the squad. And we know what needs to go, and we're starting to fill it out with some of these academy products. And it can only work out well for Tottenham Hotspur, Jack.
No, I hear you, Dave. I really hear you. And I must say, like, even if they don't get their minutes tonight, or maybe much of a chance, really, it feels like, this is at least the most Ange can do to try to reward some of the younger talent from this season, and, how hard they've worked and just how good they are. They do deserve at least, a chance like this, Dave, where they do get to, dress up, walk in with the team, be able to just have that experience. I mean, it's like if you're a kid coming through the academy, it would be kind of like a dreamland sort of experience to really have, right? And maybe if you don't get to play, that would be a bit of a letdown, but still get to watch it from the best seat in the house, still get to see what it's like, the speed and everything of it from sort of that perspective as well. And I think, guys like Tyrese Hall, guys like Mikey Moore probably are cherishing it, no matter what. But and Ange in a way has kind of missed some of his chances to really give them true opportunities and like true minutes. So at least, this is a nice token, you could say, kind of for them, to at least still have, not completely ignore them like we maybe have in the past. But I think we'll get to the chat here, see what people have to say. Let us know though, people, on the lineup choice. Maybe Dave, I'll just ask another quick question on that for you. He has gone with Dragusin again, which means Van de Ven is pushed out to left back, and then he's gone with an extra midfielder at least, by the looks of things. Thoughts on those two things that maybe Ange has changed?
Look, I think Maddison will play out on left wing tonight, and I think he'll be used as an outball with Kyle Walker. Man City allow him to get as high up the pitch as he wants because he has that unbelievable recovery pace to be able to get back. So, they'd sort of leave that side sort of exposed to a degree, and it is one area where if Brian Hill maybe had a bit more about him earlier on in the campaign, we probably could have beaten City earlier on. So for me, I think the plan is to get Maddison out there, use him as our outball, because when we tried to play through the middle against Chelsea, Liverpool and stuff like that, we couldn't do it. They kept on taking the ball off us at times and just putting it straight back on us tonight. If we do that against Man City tonight, Rodri, De Bruyne, if Phil Foden ends up coming in and picking it off for Bernardo Silva, we're in big trouble. We'll be exposed. All they have is our back line to go at, and we know how lethal City are going forward. So I think the plan is to keep Maddison out on Kyle Walker's side, use him as the outball, and as soon as he gets it, I think the instructions to Johnson and Son will be just turn on the jets and in behind, off you go. And I think that's how we're going to look to unlock Man City tonight, similar to the way we tried in the 3-3, but we just didn't have the execution on the night. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And I wonder, is it a view into maybe a potential position for James Maddison next season? Interesting.
Yeah. It could be giving him a chance at a different sort of maybe role or different areas that he can occupy. And you wonder if he even is going to be playing like a true winger out on that left. You wonder if there's going to be a slight change to even the shape and how they might build up, or how they might even try to play in the final third. Maybe there might be a sort of switch up in that way. Similar principles, but maybe a different sort of style of play that might, not style of play, sorry, different sort of just shape in general and how the guys do try to attack. Let's get to the chat here, though. Dave, so many lovely people. If you can for us, smash the like button. Do get your comments in on the game. Feel free to send in your opinions, whether you feel like they're hot, spicy, or not. I think this has been a very divisive last few days, so might as well send them in to us. And as well, we do appreciate any of you guys that do follow us for these watch-alongs, because it's been a roller coaster of a season. This has just made it even weirder, this roller coaster, I must say, this game. So we do appreciate that even you guys have chosen this one to follow us along for. So massive appreciation to you guys. Robbie Keane, though, in the house saying, no matter what happens, it's illegal to hand the title to the Scum as our main rival in North London. Give away points to City. We don't need them now. Villa will win their last game anyways. Some people think Crystal Palace is actually not a given for them, Robbie Keane, and that's what they seem to be banking their hopes on. James Paratrooper's in the house too. He's saying the exact same thing. He says Crystal Palace, no, not going to be a team that's going to be rolling over for them. Mark is in here, member of the Mark Army. Hopefully lunch today for the team was lasagna. Come on, you Manchester City. Blue Moon Rising. I think that's what maybe the Arsenal team, or the Arsenal fans that were doing the fireworks probably should have considered for the Man City players as more of a lasagna instead of a fireworks routine. Too darn... Yeah, what were you going to say, Dave?
Just bunch of Muppets.
Yeah. Too darn soulfuls in here. Good to see you. We have Rick C in the house. Derek Hutchinson, the one and only Derek Hutchinson. Emmanuel randomized. Good to see you. Ribsy85 saying, still don't really know how to feel about this one. Do you think there's a lot of people, Dave, that have expressed their, very strong opinions, about this. Do you think there's a population that do kind of in that Ribsy boat where even 15 minutes before kickoff, they still don't even know what to feel?
Say that again. Sorry, Jacko. My camera's sort of a bit...
No, that's all right. Do you think there's a population of people like Ribsy who are kind of in the indecisive boat instead of, strongly in one camp or the other? Because we've been getting a lot of that, people being strongly in one camp or the other. Do you think it might be slightly, different, or, maybe with Ribsy? Do you think there's a population of people that feel slightly indifferent, maybe?
Yeah, look, there's definitely a population of people that feel slightly indifferent. I think even people that say they don't mind if Tottenham lose tonight will feel a bit indifferent about it. Look, the reality is if we beat Man City tonight, we practically serve the Premier League title to Arsenal on a silver dish. There you go and celebrate it last game of the season. Now, even if we win tonight, we're still not guaranteed Champions League football. We're putting our hopes then in another London rival in terms of Crystal Palace. Now, yeah, okay, they've been good towards the back end of the campaign, but last game of the season is completely different when you have absolutely nothing to play for. You're just going through the motions, and you can't wait to get out of there, to get on your plane, to go on holiday. So, I wouldn't expect any favours from Crystal Palace, and I wouldn't expect any favours from Everton either. Look. It's a shit situation to be put in. But the players put us in this position when they didn't turn up against Arsenal. They could have done something then, and they didn't. They bottled it. They didn't turn up until, the second half. So it's a shit position to be in. But look, either way, we win tonight. It's a win-win. If we beat Man City, we have outside chance of Champions League, and we'll claim on to that. If we lose tonight, am I going to be disheartened? Am I going to be crying into my roast beef dinner? No, I'm not, Jack. I'm going to sit there with a cheeky little grin, and I can't wait to tune into Arsenal streams and watch them cry, and stuff like that. So, look, whatever happens tonight, it's a win. It's a win for Big Dave here. And look, I'm just going to sit back, enjoy the game, and see how the evening entertainment unfolds.
Yeah,
at least we're part of it. That's all I can say.
The strangest thing is what sort of reactions we'll even be getting from Dave, throughout the game. That's really will be very different, I imagine. MV Joker Davis is in here. Good to see you, sir. We have Scott Heineman as well. Big up to Scotty Heinem, the one and only. Appreciate your support as a member as well. Daniel Larson, Daddy Larson, first and only time I will not cheer for my team. He's Daniel. Good to know you and Michael. Plenty of the international fans kind of surprising me with being very staunchly against Arsenal. The regulars in here. Good to see the regular. We also have Machina Joe, King Hoddle. He's already singing loud and proud the Blue Moon. Shemtan's in here as well, saying, "Hey Jack and Dave, well, here we go. Let's see how this formation/personnel work tonight. Defense, I like the midfield. No creativity again, and Matters on the left wing looks like a Southgate kind of influence to me." It's hard to know whether it's going to be Madison on the left. Maybe we'll get something crazy, like someone in the chat, I think, said something about Sarr maybe playing more as a false nine. And I'm not saying that would be, something for the future to look at, but you never know. Maybe Ange is really just sort of playing a wild card kind of with this one. And I get it, right? Kulusevski and Johnson been pretty poor, been pretty poor together in games, and he had to probably go for something slightly different considering how useless we have been in recent games. So don't really exactly blame Ange, and big up to you, Shemtan. Kulusevski football's in the house. The other Mark Army is in here. Dan Coys is in as well. Big up to Dan Coys. Possibly the strangest game all season. One of the strangest games I think we've had in years, really. Dan Coys. Phil Coys is in as well. Big up, Phil Coys. Appreciate your help from earlier on the pre-match build-up. Paul Connor's in as well. He's saying that he's already caught maybe my cheeky wardrobe choice here, Dave. I mean, did you catch on to that as well?
Yeah, I caught that. You were wearing blue. I had a good chuckle to myself. I do admire the shithousery.
And I couldn't put myself through, though, Paul Connor, getting the Blue Moon beer. I thought about going through, kind of the store, seeing if I could pick myself up one, but I just know I really don't like it. And I learned my lesson last time from doing the Newcastle Brown Ale. I just really, it wasn't good. And they did get the result, but, it's not really something that I'm willing to put myself through. Good to see Fifth Elemento. Hopefully you're keeping well. Sebas Wolf is in the house as well. Appreciate your support as a member, Sebas. And then Dark Sun G, he says, "Come on, you Spurs. Hope Son scores and assists today. No pressure." Dave, if you were somebody that would be nervous about Spurs getting a win, Sonny, one of the Man City assassins, as well as Kulusevski. So Dark Sun G, I'm not sure how you feel on the whole situation. If you want Spurs to win, Kulusevski being left on the bench does, in a sense, weaken us because he's been also very good against Man City. It's one of the teams that he does often score against. And we know, Dave, I mean, Sonny had one of the most iconic celebrations, calling out Pep Guardiola for forgetting about him in the Champions League and scoring against this Man City team. So if you were somebody that maybe wants us to lose, would you be a little frightened that Sonny can show up against this team?
Look, I think he will show up. Being brutally honest, Jack, I think the whole team's going to show up. I think they're going out there with a mindset to win. I think a lot of them will prefer to play Champions League football. I would argue it's just a shame they didn't show it a few weeks ago, or it didn't click with them a few weeks ago. It's almost when it's too little too late, they start to wake up a little bit. We are Man City's bogey team as well. It doesn't matter how depleted we are, who we're missing, we rock up and we find a way against them. I expect the team to turn up and want to win today. Expect it. Do I want it to happen? It's a different story. Let's wait and see. But, I just think they will look to turn up and win. We have to remember, these guys aren't fans, right? They're not like guys that have come through the club system. They're devoted to Tottenham Hotspur and stuff. None of them are. They've all been brought in. None of them are fans of the club. They couldn't give a shit what we want. They don't have the investment that we have into it. And although they may understand the rivalry, they don't share the rivalry the same way as us fans do. So I'd expect them to look to turn up and win. Even Sonny, he probably will score against Man City today. Just let's see how many Man City can put by us.
Ribsy85 and some others in the chat are saying this is one of the best occasions to ever use a half and half scarf, and that definitely made me chuckle. And also Nick Lazy801 saying that Arteta licks his armpits when people aren't looking. Dark Sun G with another super chat as well. Big up to you, Dark Sun G. He says, our youths are on the bench now. Imagine a few new signings in there too. Dark Sun G, what also kind of fascinates me is just when will these, academy kids be perfectly ready, right? Because we know that they're some of the most talented of their age group across, across the academies of the Premier League and the English pyramid in general. So when will their opportunities come, and will they be able to take them straight away, or will they need more time? It's just, you will wonder, like, at what stage, at what year will these guys be able to carry the team and start to become those new kind of stars in the side themselves? And that means, what sort of players do we bring into the transfers? Do we need to bring in exclusively young players still, or can we look maybe a bit higher up, kind of in the age bracket, knowing that these guys are going to be coming through at some stage? I mean, Dave, any thoughts on that? And Dark Sun G, he's happy to see these youths on the bench.
No, look, I'm absolutely delighted. I think the good thing about it is people are well aware of these guys' talents. The stuff that they've produced, especially at under 21 level this year, they almost deserve it, because they've actually forced people to have a look at them. They've forced people to stand up and take notice of them. So congratulations to them. And that's exactly what you want from a youngster. Not to give the club any excuses, not to give them the opportunity. And I feel like they've done that to a large degree. But when it comes to signings, look, I don't expect to see signings of the likes of 28, 29, 30-year-olds, guys to come in here and bring a bit of experience. I expect our recruitment to more or less continue on the same way it's been. You look at a lot of our recruitment, we've sold a lot of older guys who were on big wages, cleared them out and signed a lot of younger guys on a lot lower wages. So I'd expect that to more or less continue, to be brutally honest with you, Jack. And plus, I would argue maybe it's what Postecoglou prefers, because you do need a lot of energy and plenty of energy in the tank to be able to get around, but also sustain this over the course of a whole season.
I know what you mean. K32 is in the house. Good to see you. Appreciate your support as a member, as well as Danny Darko. Always appreciate your support. And Sean Maddox, the one and only Sean Maddox. So glad I shifted my work schedule to be able to watch today. It's a weird game to be to Sean Maddox. I thought maybe this would be one you would look to avoid and, shift your work schedule to be able to watch the under-21s. At least that's what I thought you would have done. Big up to John Tucker. Big up to Martin Knightsbridge as well. We also have Liam, Scooter Reacts. Really appreciate your support as well as a member. Scooter Reacts says, morning, Dave and Jack and chat. 7 a.m. kickoff on a Wednesday morning is awesome. Good to see this lineup and how they roll. Come on, you Spurs. Dave, for the people down under, that's actually a better time to get a kickoff, a 7 a.m.er.
Only if you win, though, Jack. If you lose, it almost makes you want to go back to bed before your day's even started, to be brutally honest.
So maybe if you did want us to lose, you would rather it be one of those middle-of-the-night ones. Finn Rickwood's in here. Trinidad, appreciate your support as well as a member, Trinidad. Dirty Sanchez. We also, as well, Rakesh,
Great,
Leslie Crawford, Stevie Webb. Appreciate your support, Stevie Webb. Patty Harnett, good to see you, Patty. Last season, when they hammered us in the North London Derby, the players threw an Arsenal scarf on the camera line over the pitch and danced around it. So F Arsenal and come on City. Rick C's in here as well. Orhu Desmond, Palm the Door, just for fun. We have, just making sure I'm not missing any members, Skunky Works, Dave Janola. Appreciate all of you guys, and I do apologize if I am missing anybody. Jerome is in here as well. Big up to Jerome, Dave, and he says, Van de Ven at left back. We are going for it. Come on, you Spurs. Jerome, I can't tell with the three dots that you put afterwards, the ellipses, whether you are a little conflicted by Ange going for it. But, Dave, I mean, what are your thoughts on Ange, right, being so reluctant to play Van de Ven at left back? I think, if I remember what your explanation is, it has to do with Dragusin and the agent. Is that right?
Yeah, look, I see a lot of people maybe disillusioned on why it's took them this long to get around to it, but Ange Postecoglou does work on a meritocracy, Jack, or he tries to the best degree. And I think when Edozie went out, it was only right he gave Ben Davies that opportunity. Whether I agree with it or not, he has depended on Davies when other injuries has happened. So, in Ange's world, it's only right that he gives Davies the opportunity. When he goes out, Emerson has been a good servant up until we've had to play him at left back this season. So it's only right then that he gets that opportunity. But since that hasn't worked, I know he went with Skip for the Burnley game. But I just think Dragusin probably would have got minutes sooner if his agent just learned to shut his mouth. At the end of the day, how many players have we had speaking out against Jose Mourinho, Pochettino towards the end of his tenure, Nuno, Conte? At some point, we have to read that out of Tottenham Hotspurs. We can't have the players and the agents controlling and dictating what's going on at Tottenham, who's in charge, who gets sold, who comes in. We can't have that. At some point, if we want to really take ourselves seriously, and we're lucky that we've stayed where we are around while this is happening, but if we really want to push on and win something, Ange Postecoglou has to create that stable environment. Ange Postecoglou likes to create an environment where it's us against them. And Dragusin agent is going against that. And at some point, Postecoglou has to put his foot down and make an example of somebody the first time it crops up. It's just unfortunate. It happens to be Dragusin, who's new to the club, and it's his agent. So I actually agree with what Postecoglou has done there, because in the long run, I think you see the benefits of it. You will hopefully no longer see a disharmonised camp or people, with their own agendas. Like what Dragusin agent done there, coming out, calling out Postecoglou, the tactics, team selection, etc. That's no different to Ben Davies going to Daniel Levy and asking for Nuno to be getting sacked because he wasn't in the lineup, or the amount of times Dyer would come out and feed stuff out to the press. It's no different, and he has to read that, and I stand by what he's done. I rate
it. Jerome, I feel like we have missed you a bit this season. You've been with us for a lot of the watch-alongs, but would love to have you maybe sometime this summer or something like that for a good debate show, or even if you wanted to do a pre-record with us or something. Have missed kind of your thoughts on things. I think you really do speak from the heart, and a lot of people like what you have to say. Big up to you, Jerome. Have missed you. Hopefully you are keeping okay. And for us, it's the summer, but I think you're approaching the winter. So let me know if you're ever hunkered in inside and you want to have a chat with us. Big up to Coys Forever. All right, lads. Don't know how to feel about this one. I mean, I don't blame you, Coys Forever. This might be one of the biggest moral conundrums that us Spurs fans have ever come across. Dave, I did put the link to the
I've got it
in the private chat. Okay. Coys Forever, Ribsy85, one of our Mount Rushmores from earlier, he didn't really know how to feel about this one. I think you just go with the flow, ride it, kind of watch the game just as, a fan, of course, of your club. But if you end up, seeing us lose, don't lose any sleep over it. If you see us win, pray that you see Sean Dyche, do a job against Arsenal, and that we can get something out of that win, and maybe we can get a Champions League berth of some sort. But Coys Forever, I think there's actually a large portion of the fan base that's not even in the whole kind of one camp or the other in a strong sort of fashion. They're actually in this really conflicted, really kind of confused kind of bracket. And Dave, we just spoke about that earlier with Ribsy.
No, 100%. Look, none of us fans are to blame. I see a lot of blame go to the fans, whatever way they feel either way. Make no mistake about it. It's not us fans that put ourselves in this position. It's that squad of players. So, I understand why people don't know how to feel. It's a bit of a weird one. I think if Tottenham don't give Man City a game, I think halfway through, most people go, "Do you know what, fuck it, let's go for Champions League, see what happens." But like I said, I don't think anyone's willing for Tottenham to lose, but I just think the general feeling is if Tottenham does lose, it's not going to be the end of the world, or you're not going to sit here and pick it apart the way you have done other defeats. It's one of them where you can sort of, to a degree, accept it, if you know what I mean.
Definitely, definitely. Gonna get the clock though ready, everybody. If that's okay, just give me a moment here, and then we can get things going and get things started. We have a couple other super chats to get through. Really appreciate the support. Coy's forever. Jerome says, "Lads, I don't care about Arsenal. My focus is solely on Spurs. I want us to win every game. If a team like Leverkusen did an invincible, this gives me hope that Spurs can win trophies one day." He's not bothered at all, Dave, about Arsenal in this case, and he's solely focused on Spurs' project, and he wants us to get to a mentality maybe like Leverkusen's. I mean, you can't really blame Jerome.
No, look, and I think we can definitely get to that, as long as the board is willing to sort of, learn from their lessons over the last few years and really give Postecoglou the opportunity. Look, I'm like Jerome. I want Tottenham to win every game. I think every fan does, even fans that said they don't mind if we lose today to a certain degree, or they're not going to be as angry about it, don't want Tottenham to lose. It's just, if we do lose today, right, it's going to be a day or two of pain. You accept where you finish in the league and you sort of crack on with it and talk about discussions for next season. If we beat Man City today and Arsenal win the league, you're going to hear about that for the next 20 years, potentially kicking off Arsenal to become a dynasty under Arteta. Once you win one trophy, you then feel a lot more relaxed, a lot more at ease in them situations going forward and in the future. So, I think there could be a repercussion in that regard. So look, I understand, though. I do understand.
And Jerome, once again, I just want to, if you're still listening, please, meant that very seriously. Come on, send Dave or I an email or a text or something like that. And also as well, message Dave or I if you want to be in a group chat or something like that. And we would love to have you on for a pre-record or for anything sort of this upcoming summer. Big up to you, sir. Have appreciated your support for a long time on this channel.
Just quickly,
yeah.
Basuma clearly got the memo. He's sitting there in a sky blue jumper.
Yeah, that's odd by Basuma there, Dave. He's clearly a man after your own heart. Dark Sun G says, hopefully next season with a few more signings, we can mix youth in with our B team, and for the early cup games, we can go on a run. Looking forward for the transfer window. I kind of see what Dark Sun G means, right? Where we can have really talented youngsters, Dave, intermixed maybe with some of the fringe kind of, I know people hate the word backup, but right, some of the squad players to a degree, but you mix them in with really talented youngsters.
No, to me, I think that's the way to go. I think that's the future. At the end of the day, what them youngsters will do is keep everybody else honest ahead of them, because they're not going to stop working and grinding until they get their opportunity. So it almost drives the player ahead of them onto a new level. But also in them early round of cup games, I would rather see their youthfulness, their enthusiasm, their willingness to work and stuff like that in the early rounds of cup games, rather than roll out players who are supposed to be respectable international footballers who just go through the motions and don't want to be there. I completely agree, Dark Sungji. And you know what, Dark Sungji, to be fair, this is something that me and you have sort of been speaking about for 2 to 3 years now, together on and off through chats and stuff like that, through our streams and stuff. And hopefully we're finally getting what we're asking for, Dark Sungji.
And he also says, if City got 2 draws or a win versus the, if City got 2 draws or a win versus the Gooners, sigh. I think he means like City, if I'm remembering correctly, didn't really take enough points off of Arsenal this season. So it's also partially their fault that in a way they are also relying on us to do them a favor.
Oh, no, from a City point of view, of course. But I don't think they really care, because I think from a City point of view, they expect to beat us. I think, they'd be delighted with the results they've got off Arsenal. I think they fancied beating most other players. So from a City point of view, I think they'd be happy with that. From a Spurs point of view, yeah, I can understand it. But at the same time, we had our chances against Arsenal. We didn't take it,
Yeah. And then lastly, Shemtan, good to see you, Shemtan. Always have appreciated your support. And he says, my Gooner loving bruv sent me his best wishes for the game. Shem, this is what I mean. This is what you have to put yourself through. I'm not really, I just couldn't handle that. And I imagine plenty of people are put in a very weird position with some of their maybe Gooner friends of some sort. Big up to you, Shemtan.
Do you
Appreciate your
know what?
support as well as Dark Sun G's and I think it was Koi's Forever, Jerome. Really appreciate all you guys in the beginning of the show. Thanks, Dave.
Do you know what, Shem Tam? I'm absolutely sick of the gaslighting that Arsenal fans have been doing the last week. You know, I'm absolutely fed up with it. And to be honest, I'm disappointed that maybe some of the Spurs fan base have almost bought into it to a degree. Because I can guarantee you, if they pick up the title next week, they're the very next ones that are going to turn around and go, "You idiots! We use reverse psychology on you. This is how easy you are to manipulate and stuff like that." Look, it's just a shit end of the season to be in. That's it. At the end of the day, the entertainment is unfolding. Let's see how it goes. Van der Ven into Madison.
Nice turn.
Madison does well there. Good ball into Bentancur. Onto Zinedine Salzburg.
Big switch of play. He does well.
Oh, makes it. Great ball.
To Johnson. Can he see Sonny?
Good ball to Bentancur.
Oh! The Spurs opening up City nice and early.
Oh,
Spurs
nearly going 1-0 up there. Good effort from Bentancur. It's a great bit of play. I mean, what a ball by Zinedine Salzburg. Jack, that sort of ball is something that we need in that number 6. Not only do we need him to be able to be competent defensively, but I do feel that we do need a guy with that sort of passing range from that deep line position as well.
Well, I mean, I think we're even finding ourselves complimenting just one switch of play from a player in a game. What really would be impressing me is doing something more. What Højbjerg has done is where you haven't even looked up. You know that the guy is open. You know that he's practically waiting for it. And then you hit that huge switch of play like a Toni Kroos or, the likes of a Luka Modric can do that, where they just go for a huge switch of play without even looking up, really. They just know it's there. Højbjerg's done it again, and, it's nice to see that. Those sort of risks.
No, it is. I like it. It's good to see. Sometimes some of our football can be predictable and boring when we get into the final third. Switching up gives you that element of excitement, that element of surprise to the opposition, different avenue as well. So let's see how it goes. Pedro Porro on the ball here. But a good, I have to say, I do like the fact that he's given Højbjerg the opportunity today, Jack. A nice sort of parting gift to the Spurs fans, Maybe letting him play out there one last time before.
Yeah, that's fair.
The summer move.
In these sort of games, too. And Højbjerg's getting a little confident, and he sprays it out of bounds after a couple of his switches of play. Really likes hitting Johnson down the wing. Dark Sun G, he's seeing some space down there, clearly. Dark Sun G says, City lost to the Gooners 1-0. If they would have won that game or beat the Blues once, we could feel a bit different. Also, if we drew with Villa, West Ham early in the season, yeah, there are plenty of points that, we dropped in really bad times, Dark Sun G, especially the fact that West Ham, right, didn't get a win against West Ham this season is usually, something we can rely on, guarantee, and that was a huge one. We know about Wolves, we know about Fulham too, but West Ham maybe hasn't also been spoken about really enough. And the Villa game, we were very good against Villa, and we still found a way to lose. Kyle Walker into De Bruyne. Ooh, what a block. Very lucky. Goes up, though, maybe for Kyle Walker, went up.
But on to what Dark Sun G is saying. Oh, he's way offside there, surely. I do understand what he's saying. To be honest with you, Dark Sun G, I just want to blame Michael Oliver. I just feel like he's had, a massive part to say in the demise of our season. Too many points that we've dropped under him being referee this season. So I'm going to blame him.
And he is right about even the games that Man City dropped. Like certain opponents they drop points to, you were well surprised, and it's made the whole thing a lot closer.
Yeah, it has. It has. And you know what? It's just a shame that Arsenal found their bottle this time as well. It's really annoying that they found their bottle this time. Van der Ven, Tottenham throw in again here.
Ribsy85 saying you better stay on side, Walker.
Yeah. Van der Ven looking for options. Plays it into Bentancur. Gets dispossessed. Surely that's a Tottenham throw. If they've given that to City, it's just corrupt. Yep. Corruption in front of my eyes again.
Holland holding it up. Plays it to Bernardo Silva. Well done by Dragusin. And Sonny, I think, who tracked back there.
Oh,
Papa
Papa
Matsar
Matsar.
showing the legs.
Can he get there? Oh, he
Showing
does.
the legs,
What
getting past
absolutely
Akanji.
unbelievable play by Papa Matsar there. Great engine, Jack.
Oh, but he plays Sonny, I think, at the wrong time. Or at least maybe not even a great touch by Sonny, but it felt like the wrong time to play him. Phil Foden, lovely feet. Bernardo Silva.
He's unbelievable, Foden.
Him and
I like
Silva are ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, Madison picks it
Oh,
up.
Madison trying to show off his own skills.
Give him a yellow. That was naughty from Bernardo Silva. That was absolutely naughty. Bentancur switches it out to the Porinator. Postman Porro. Can he deliver again? Goes all the way back to Vicario. Dragusin.
Paul Connor saying, is it bad to say we look a lot better tonight than we have in weeks? Paul, I actually think we've had plenty of good... I'm going to disagree, Dave. I think we've had plenty of good starts. It's just then been undone by a mistake. The forward line, not making anything to do with the chances or anything with the opportunities they're given. I might disagree, Paul. I think we've had plenty of good starts, or at least solid starts, and then it's just completely undone by a really bad set piece or a really bad mistake, or like I just said, with the forwards just being useless.
No, look, that is a fair point, actually, to be fair. There is a lot of games where we sort of get off to a good start and have good chances, and then we just end up I don't know what it is, losing confidence or losing the ball in a shit position, and then we just end up going, down because of it. Even against Burnley, the first half to a large degree, we played all right. Mm-hmm. The forward line, we couldn't create anything. They got one attack and they buried it.
Yeah, Ilmatic saying Spurs always turn up for City, just like Chelsea shit always turn up for us. Yeah, it is
very
similar.
True. I wonder did the Premier League give out incentives to teams going up against City? Kyle Walker.
Both teams, though, playing a very high line, not willing to give in.
Yeah.
So it should be an entertaining game. You would think then it would be an entertaining game for that. Oh, Romero steps out.
Is he doing his best to get sent off there?
Bernardo or Phil Foden.
Doing his best to get sent off. Rodrigo.
Big up Paul Connor, though. Great conversation starting point, to be fair.
Yeah,
just made me think about that.
Oh, it's a ball in behind here, man.
He's out of play. Out of play.
It's gone out. Tottenham throw in. That's going to be there all game. Need to watch that. Referee, can you get your hands off our match winner, please? I mean, Lionel, who do you think you are?
Everybody thinks now the upset is on.
Yeah, I think it is on, to be honest with you, Jack.
Everybody's getting that vibe.
De Bruyne.
Ed Sweeting wants a sprint off between Walker and VDV.
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually. De Bruyne. Onto Haaland.
Højlund.
Foden.
Sorry.
Yeah, VDV up against Walker would be a tremendous race.
Daniel Larson says, if we could have taken points against Arsenal at home, we would not have this issue. Now, would we? I mean, Daniel, it's a brilliant point.
True.
And it's something that I probably should have said more often. I think Dave did a pretty decent job of it, just with a lot of the games that we've dropped points in. But especially this case, like we could have ended Arsenal's title hopes ourselves. We could have made it far better for ourselves, but we didn't for some reason. Kyle Walker, tons of space. They're just asking Kyle Walker to score.
If he could shoot, he'd be dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't shoot there.
He's had 2 or 3 opportunities there now to pull the trigger, and he just won't. Doesn't back himself at all.
Doesn't really want to score against his old team.
Maybe even he doesn't want Arsenal winning the league. Or he wants Arsenal winning the league. Kyle Walker, it's a shit pullback as well. Who's that got
Kyle
back?
Walker, double agent.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying goal incoming from a set piece.
Oh.
I mean, are Man City as good as Arsenal, though, from set pieces?
Oh, they weren't missing. Oh. Really happened.
I mean, Man City, I think they're okay from set pieces, right? I think they're all right. I can't think of them as one of the better teams, though.
No. But you know what? They do have the crafty set piece every once in a while that catches everyone out.
I feel like it's more Arsenal, Liverpool, maybe a Newcastle or something. I'm trying to think of who the good set piece teams have been. Of course, you got your Evertons and your Brentfords. Oh, ball goes out. Looks like for a goal kick.
Kovacic, he's so annoying. Shut up.
Sean Maddox asking, did we just win a header? Dragusin. Ooh,
oh, Lord.
Tries to dribble it out from the back.
So erratic.
Oh, but it's... Oh, and Højbjerg!
Højbjerg. Oh, what a save by Vicario. What a save.
What a save from Vic. There's your customary Højbjerg. There's your customary Højbjerg bloof.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's a little shaky from Pierre.
Wins a goal kick. Jesus Christ, that was shaky as. Poor by Dragusin, by the way. Completely puts people under pressure.
Yeah, because he also takes himself away from the defense by dribbling so far out and then by giving it away. It's dangerous.
What a save by Vicario.
What a save from Vicario. Absolute
Do you know what? The amount of one-on-one saves he's pulled off this season has actually been incredible. He's got to be up there with the most in the league.
I understand that people could argue and I'd agree. He's had maybe a not underwhelming, but maybe not as impressive end to the season. But in no way is he a liability or something like that to us. He's been completely ridiculous. We would not be in the position we are without his consistency of these. He pulls off those saves every game.
Yeah.
We take them for granted.
Every game. Here we go. Sonny being unleashed in behind up against Walker.
This is the thing, though. Sonny, coming up against, in my opinion, still probably the best defensive right back in the world. Still probably to this day. Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
Remember, Hill Messi had a very, very tough evening against him.
Yeah, he did. Oh, good play by Tottenham. James Maddison looks to go on the outside.
All over. Sonny, top of the box.
Sonny probably teed this up.
Bentancur into Sarr. He finds Johnson.
All the way out to Johnson. Blocked. Gone out for a Tottenham goal. Tottenham corner. Vicario getting the blocking. That was a good move there by Tottenham, Jack. Good play by Maddison and Sonny there.
Very good move. And Dave, is it right to say that Sarr is playing this maybe more advanced role where he's being asked to kind of be a marauding sort of, box to box kind of player more so than usual?
I think he's being asked if Son moves out in the middle to maybe fill that gap. So there's a good ball there by Papa Sarr, actually.
So that's the slight maybe tweak to the shape a little bit. Where Son doesn't have to be as sort of Son doesn't have to be as disciplined to just staying through the middle.
Sonny on the ball here. He goes to whip it in.
Finding it hard to get past Vicario. Tries to bring it down, gets stuffed, but he gets past Vicario. Oh, gets Son. Sir!
It's done.
Can't throw him to the ground like that. Can't touch our boy. If City gets second, it's because they drew so many games versus the big six teams. Yeah, I think that's again what Dark Sun G was sort of touching on, was in the bigger games this season, Man City have not been the same team they usually have been. They've actually shown to be shaky. And that could come back to haunt them. Even against us when we had, no players, Dark Sun G, right? We had Emerson and Ben Davies, right? We still forced them to drop a point. Højbjerg making a great run. Sonny with a great ball.
Højbjerg tries to get across to Johnson first time.
Great run from Højbjerg. Just kind of got stuffed there. Not really quick enough to touch it past him. Man City break through our press, but looks like we have enough players back. Spurs have looked sharp. Spurs have looked bright. Spurs
look like the better team this half, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, we look dangerous.
City getting on one here. Does he find Haaland?
Into Haaland.
He's up against Van de Ven. Well done, Van de Ven and Romero.
Shoved over by
Dragusin.
Dragusin.
Challenge by Dragusin.
Dragusin, Dave, I mean, he is strong, you can tell, because he has no problem shoving whoever he wants to the ground.
Yeah.
And he sort of, they always seem to go flying anytime that Dragusin makes contact with
them. It was a good tackle there by Dragusin. It's just my only problem with him is it's just him on his left foot. You know,
Yeah.
it just doesn't suit him. He sort of plays himself into trouble to a degree. But good tackle there on Haaland. It's good to know that he can go up against the strongest and bundle them over.
So that's where you've been maybe less convinced with him, is more in possession, not as much defensively. Yeah.
I think if he's playing over on the right hand side, I think he'd be fine, Jack. I think he'd be a fine defender. I think he'd be a fine player. You know, in terms of on the ball and all. It's just when we play him on the left side, you know, it's sort of he plays himself into trouble a little bit, and that's where my problem comes. If you don't have if you can't use your left foot, just do it simple. You know. Mm-hmm. Bentancur giving away a free kick. Tottenham getting stuck into City here. I have to say that's a few challenges now.
They've looked up for it. They definitely don't seem to care about any sort of the assumptions. No chirpy in the 11, that's for sure. Just as we were saying, though, it was a nice ball out from Dragusin.
Yeah.
Pedro, he's got Sonny.
Right foot, you know. Right foot. He's good. He's okay on his right foot.
Bentancur.
Onto Dragusin. Good ball. That's better. Into Bentancur. Nice and simple. Oh, no. Porro gives it away. Do you know what? We've done well the opening 20 minutes to stop City from really creating too much. City starting to knock it about here, though.
Yeah, they get breakthrough very well.
Onto Foden. Finds Kyle Walker. Can he find another cross?
The 6. Well done. Whoever saw that out, I think it was Højbjerg.
Yeah.
Madison. See Romero. Oh, my Lord.
You bloody idiot. What is wrong with him?
Man, you had it. It was there. You just got to play it. Sonny. Sorry.
How's he not fed that?
He's the one player who can play that as well. Romero.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one player you expect to play it. He's clean true.
Romero, guys, he's had so many chances to score this season, Romero.
What a donut, Madison. Stranger as the game goes on, I feel myself wanting to win.
I actually rate sometimes Dragusin's like little clip balls and, you know, kind of when he needs to get it launched. I don't think he's not bad, actually.
Rombom. To Madison. Will he get his head up this time? He finds Sarr.
Sean Dyche would love the Dragusin.
Yeah, he would. He'd relish it. He'd be so overused from set pieces. It wouldn't even be funny.
And I think the guy's career. He seems, and during his days at Genoa, he probably has no problem just getting it launched. Just
Tottenham playing some lovely stuff here, though, I have to say.
Yeah, controlling possession. Man City forcing to have to chase after it.
The only real chance they've had was the Foden one, and that was off the back of Højbjerg shanking it.
Yeah, really, you're right.
Man City don't really look up for this whatsoever. I don't know. Spurs fans don't know what to make of it either, Jack.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, really.
They look anxious.
He got, oh my God, the half shirt. The half sky blue white one. That's funny.
Are you sure that's that one and it's not the anniversary one we had with the half blue, half white?
Isn't it the Mansion shirt? The one with the...
Yeah, I think it might be. I think Philip Brady has it.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's gone for that one. Very funny.
Oh...
Wonder if Philip Brady's doing the same. Wonder if Philip Brady's wearing that one today. It's Dark Sun G says if Liverpool, City, and Gooners did well and Man United did well in Europe. Yeah, that's another thing Dark Sun G is pointing out that maybe we can blame other teams for instead of just ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
How much they all let us down in Europe this season, where we have had to be relegated to the Europa League. I mean, I think Aston Villa, fair play to them, getting fourth, but they have shown to really not be that much better than us, I think, this season, right? They just they showed up when they needed to in more kind of, crucial point, kind of games than we really did at the end of it, right? But it's not like they were that much convincingly better than us. Brendan Johnson or Bentancur in behind?
Bentancur.
Scott Johnson! Oh, it's seen out by Gavardio, but plenty of space for Porro. Can we get a rocket? Oh, good feet by Gavardio.
No, look, I hear what Dark Song G's saying about the other teams in Europe. I mean, it's a bit of a weird one. You know, Germany's sort of considered a farmer league, but yet they've, 2 teams to the semi-final of the Champions League, Leverkusen to the final of the Europa League. They've had a good year, and it's, he is right. You know, any other year, the teams would have been good enough to be able to get them coefficient points, but at the same time, what I will say about Aston Villa, where you were saying there, Jack, about them not being too far ahead of us, I agree with you. I just think some of the results, they were able to grind them out because they have that bit more togetherness because they're a bit longer together than what we are.
Even think of, like Darkson G said, the point that we dropped against them when we were at home, like we were so much better than them in that game. We were so much better than them, and somehow we got a draw.
Yeah. Well, we allowed them back into it late, didn't we? Same with Wolves. We were 1-0 up there, and they scored 2 in the 90-odd minute,
This is such an entertaining game, I must say, to be honest, people, though, because of...
It's on a knife edge, isn't it? You're just waiting for that one mistake. That's how it's going to come.
It's interesting how Guardiola, he's not giving in, at least in this half.
And if you look at the way it's being played, they're very compressed all up into, there's a lot of space behind either back line. It's very interesting.
Very interesting. Because there was one pass they actually had on there where they could have split our whole team. But now, turning it over, Kovacic gives it away. We don't have any runners, though. Johnson, was never on. But Johnson also needs to run harder there. Sarr's asking him to.
He's just jogging. He's not even presenting an option.
It's just a fake run. It's a fake run, really. Oh, Madison, composure. Oh. Well done by Sarr.
Get out to
Porro. Yeah, Sarr, Dave. Look at him. He's playing that sort of almost Bellingham kind of role.
Maybe he's playing up front today.
It's almost like a Bellingham role.
It's a ball in the box for Johnson.
Bentancur and Sarr both getting into the penalty area.
Yeah. I tell you, I think we're going to win tonight, Jack. I just have that feeling. Just the way I'm looking at the game, I think we're going to win it. Fuck it, let's go all out for Champions League.
Just as you say, Yano71 says, I hate Tottenham.
It's a short corner to Papa Matt Sarr. Back to Madison. I think Tottenham have messed this one up royally here. Yeah, messed it up completely. Gone all the way back to the halfway line. That's shocking.
Yeah, you have to get the ball into the box.
Salzburg. Out to Sonaldo.
Good opportunity here for Son.
Kyle Walker's just so fucking quick and athletic. It's so annoying.
Not at the sharpest start, Sonny, as he maybe did against Burnley.
Up against Kyle Walker, though, it is tricky. It's zapping as well. It doesn't matter how much energy you put in to get by him. He's just going to get back.
I'm not going to expect him to roast him every time. But we will probably need him to... He hasn't even had really any poor touches or anything. He's just finding it hard to get past him.
Yeah. I have to say, Man City have been so lackluster and shit. They've offered nothing. Or is it that we're playing that well, we're making them look like that? I'm not sure.
I think it's just because we play such an aggressive brand of football ourselves that it does sort of catch City out. Right? It kind of it leaves it on a knife's edge, like you said.
Yeah.
Pep looks worried, says DYT2.
Who looks worried?
Pep.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does. He's very frantic over there on his touchline. I would be too.
Chris or Curse Bomb says, effing hell, we can't even lose when we are supposed to.
That's going to be a lot of the reaction tonight, you know that. We lose when we want to win, and when we don't mind, when we can, well, not that we don't mind, but when we can accept the loss to go out to win. Spursy.
Rodri, Kovacic. Out wide to Gavardio. He's had a nice few weeks, hasn't he? Rodri.
Oh, Van de Ven nearly rubs it off Kyle Walker there. He leaves the gap, though, for Bernardo Silva. That's the risk you take. Feeds De Bruyne, who gets back there. That's good play.
Bentancur. Good hold-up play as well.
And he wins the throw-in. Well done, Ben Techers. It's bloody brilliant play.
Benton class, as per usual.
Yeah, do you know what he's done? He's done all right today, actually. Do you know what? De Bruyne needs to get rid of that hair. The state of it. I mean, who told him that's a good look for him?
He's going for the long locks, Dave. Beautiful flow.
He's gone for the Grealish.
He has actually gone
for the Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, don't start pissing about with it there.
Holland, Rodri, Kovacic. They have nobody really to switch it to, though, so it's not that dangerous. DS. Foden's probably picked up the ball in the most dangerous areas for them, but so far kept him quiet.
Jeez, we are snapping at City's heels. I like that. Foden.
They have that switch of play if they can to Gvardiol, but
yeah,
we're putting pressure on them.
We are. We're not giving them as much time on the ball. I don't mind that. City starting to play through it here now, though. Kyle Walker probably should have fed. Who's that? Phil Foden there. Oh. Sonny looking to get the press on. Tottenham throw in. City look rattled. They look rattled.
Spurs with 60% possession.
Yeah. We played well. We played very well. Højbjerg. We're going to score from this. I can feel it. Brennan Johnson. Maybe not now that he's touched it. Højbjerg. Dragusin. Van de Ven. Find Sonny.
You can almost see us getting the draw, though, because we just still can't do anything up front.
Oh, if we draw this, I'll be absolutely peeved. It's like, could you not just do one or the fucking other, you know?
Is the stream okay, though, for you, Dave? Not too laggy?
Yeah, no, it's fine now.
Okay.
Crystal clear, Jacko.
Oh, giving it away by DS.
They're not syncing up here. They're here for the taking tonight. Bentancur.
Madison. Yeah, they're not in sync.
No. They don't look like the well-oiled machine they have been.
No, they're not very... The passes haven't been very crisp. They've been kind of a bit off.
They need half-time. Pedro Porro. Salzburg. Feeds Bentancur. Back to Salzburg. Where's Romero gone? Salzburg into Sarr. Back to Salzburg. Good play by Tottenham. Finds Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson. Can he find someone? He's got Son back post. If he gets his fucking head up. Oh my God. Still running at the player. Gets it.
Oh! Ederson spills it.
He's got to get his head up and put that over earlier to Sonny.
Everybody's saying the draw would be the worst.
Look how fucking free he is. Oh. And he takes another shit option again. Oh my God. Put Chirpy on. Tottenham corner kick. It's an outswinger. We get our heads on. Sonny! Blocked.
Skewed.
Oh, its way back out. It's Tottenham corner. Oh,
another Tottenham corner.
Is he giving a goal kick? Yeah, he's giving a goal kick.
No way.
Yeah. I think he came off Madison last. Maybe I'm wrong. It looked like it did.
Shane O'Neill saying, convince these scumbag players are trolling us. I mean, it's a harsh word there, Shane, but yeah. I mean,
it does seem like it, lad.
If you really do want Spurs to lose this, I can't see why you're probably feeling very sick right now. You're probably feeling very just like, it's just headache, for you to probably watch this.
Oh, it's just, do you know what it is, Shane? It's just like, they're so unpredictable. You know what I mean? When you want them to turn up, they won't. And when you go, okay, I can accept this one, they'll turn up and beat City tonight.
How
Sonny
can they
with
score
3-on-2 here. He's got Sarr and he's got
Johnson,
Pedro
he's
Porro.
giving Pedro. Pedro.
Just shocking ball.
That's a terrible cross. I'm not sure who's that to.
No, I'm not even
Foden.
sure he was looking at.
Foden, what a touch.
Wow.
Pedro.
That's a
Or
poor
sorry,
tackle by
Bernardo.
Bentancur.
Well done by Romero.
No one wants it with Romero. They all pull out.
Yeah,
Do
he
you
pulled
notice
out
that?
straight away, De Bruyne. He knew straight away he didn't want that.
Oh, well. Good cushion header by Sonny. On to Papa Matasar. Anyone that goes up against Romero, they just pull out. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, no,
it's so funny to watch.
It's not a 50-50 with Romero. It really isn't.
No.
He turns any 50-50 into just like a, yeah. Romero dribbling out. Pedro Porro finds Romero. Great run. Not a great touch, though.
Do you know what? I'm convinced. Not that I ever want to see it. I love Romero at centre back, but he could play centre midfield if he wanted to. Easy.
Could play striker, Dave. Come on.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very true.
Oh, that wasn't a great tackle by Bentancur.
I was shocking by Bentancur. Skunkwork says the irony. We play City 35 minutes in and no goals against us. And we were what, 3 down against Arsenal at this time? Oh, this is what I always say about Tottenham. When you don't have any expectations on them, they turn up.
Yeah. We are a bit of a house of disappointment.
Man City are really struggling to try and play through us, which
yeah,
is...
they're finding it much harder to play through us than we are through them. Than we are through them. We've had it much easier to play through them.
We're working our socks off out of possession. I'll give them that.
And what's confusing is, like, Man City have had maybe little moments where they actually probably could have undone us with a pass, but then they haven't, whereas we've done it far more often.
Yeah. I don't think Man City want to take that risk, though, whereas I think we're sort of nothing to lose. We will take that risk, but it's working out in our favour. I have to say, out of possession, the press is actually coordinated, and Papa Matasar actually looks like he's playing up front. Well spotted, Jacko. Oh, Salzburg. On to Madison. Madison dancing around him. Great reverse ball to Salzburg.
Pierre.
That's a free kick on him, surely.
Maybe it's a free kick, but it looked like he got caught up to.
Yeah, it's on his left foot as well.
Yeah, he sort of stuttered, then kind of staggered his legs, and then they just caught up to him. Kovacic.
Diaz.
You imagine the pray-along is going very well for AFTV.
Oh, they're loving it, so they are, I'd say, right now. Diaz. Man City are praying for half-time. They have no answer to this. Kovacic, oh, here they are. They're out now.
Gavardio, is it?
What the fuck is that? Jesus Christ.
Gavardio.
Get the ball out your feet. Bernardo Silva. Gets a one-on-one with Van de Ven. He does well to make him go backwards. Kyle Walker going for the deep ball in.
Oh, no.
Instead to the back post. Oh, why hasn't he squared it to Haaland? That's absolutely huge from Gavardio. Goes for goals. Probably should have put it back across for Haaland there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's done there. He's gone for goal. I think you're right. Wow.
Oh, wow, that's shocking. Greedy. When you're going for a title, you can't be making decisions like that.
Yeah, just when he's in the goal-scoring form, he's becoming a bit greedy there. No, please don't tell me Romero injury. This is what we really don't want.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't want to see any sort of limping Romero.
No, can't afford it. Because we still need to beat Sheffield United regardless of the result here. If we want to take fifth or at least get a point, you know. Guardiola is
Marcus saying the City just can't figure out the formation.
No, they can't figure out the formation or a way to play it through. I can barely figure out the formation, to be brutally honest. I'm thinking Papa Matasar's playing up front. I think it's the usual formation, just with Sarr up front.
And we know he's very good at pressing, Sarr. And his hold-up play has been okay so far.
You're actually good. You're spot on there, Jacko. Well, see, they're taking a long time to work us out. Weirdly enough, though, they've had the better opportunities. They just haven't done that with it.
It's probably marked
have
like a
him
bit of
put-
both, though, where like they're finding it hard to deal with our press with Pop Matasar because it's just different personnel, different shape, sort of. Maybe it isn't a different shape, like Dave is saying, but still, it's a different personnel than what they're used to. And then also out of possession, or sorry, in possession as well, it might just
Yeah.
be sort of throwing them off, kind of in two ways.
Imagine Papa Matasar scored a brace today or something. That'd be one of the that. Everyone would be questioning could he play up front then in the future. Man City fans looking nervous. They're very quiet. I don't think it was the party they were expecting to turn up to.
DYT saying Pep is a fraud, can only win with expensive budgets or the world's best players. Doubt he could win the A-League with Brisbane Roar like Big Ange has. Love that, DY. Love that.
Love that.
Fraudiola. To Phil Foden. Romero. Little body
He's just
chest.
wants to
Little
abuse him
chest
today,
into the
doesn't
back of Phil Foden. Dangerous switch of play.
Bernardo Silva.
Oh, it's ball for De
Bruyne
Bruyne. He's
again,
never
yeah.
getting there.
Never getting there ahead of the Dragon.
Dragon.
Let's go back to Vicario.
Oh,
Take it.
risky.
Why doesn't he just go back to Vicario there? I don't get it. He just makes trouble for himself. Wins the goal kick, nevertheless. 5 minutes left to go here until half time. Dragusin takes the goal kick to Vicario. Nearly overhits that. Rambam. He'd probably pass it and go and shoulder someone.
Oh, no.
Porro, what have you done? Wins it back. No way, ref. I'm sorry. That's not a free kick. That's it, Porro. You tell him. Give him the backhander. All right, fair enough. Actually, it is a free. He deceived me. Man City with an opportunity to whip this in. Can Tottenham defend it? Can Dragusin or Van de Ven, Romero? I need them to get their head on it. I'd say Man City fans are furious right now, Jack. They're expecting to turn up to a big soiree, and they've ended up walking into, a shithole. Where it's canned beer instead of bottled beer. Are they going to deliver it? De Bruyne does deliver it. It's right on top of Vicario. That's comfortable. Vicario throws it out to Van de Ven. Puts him under a bit of pressure. Same to Sarr. Van de Ven does very well there with Papa Matasar to get themselves out there. Madison turn it back into trouble. What the fuck are you doing? Bentancur. Jesus Christ, Madison. You already turned them once. Van de Ven. Good ball into Sonny.
Oh,
Sonny
Bentancur.
Get it into the
Tons
middle.
of
You got an
space
overlap.
here.
Oh, no. It's
Gavardio.
complete. Why hasn't he just pushed that into whoever that runner was and he can play on the overlap? Oh, my Lord. That was shocking by Bentancur. Man City, you're out here now. Bernardo Silva with a one-on-one against Sonny. It's blocked. Vicario picks it up. What was Bentancur doing there, Jack? It's a 3-on-2. We are so shit.
I mean, Dave, come on. That's not the worst I've seen in the last 2 weeks from us. Going forward. I feel like it's like regular. It's become clockwork for us to turn it over like that.
But when he's running, all he's got to do is play it to the guy in the middle, continue running. It's a 3-on-2. You've got lappers either side. I just thought, it's brain dead. Romero, back to Vicario. Pumps it long to Van de Ven.
Sonny gives it away.
Sonny loses it to De Bruyne. Kyle Walker. Into De Bruyne. Feeds Haaland. Haaland goes out wide to Gavardio. Slows it down. Tottenham getting pressure on. Good pressure by Papa Matasar. Rodri. Wow, they are loose.
They are rattled.
Wow, they are loose. They are there for the taking this evening. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Maybe this midweek game is one step too far for them. Guardiola is fuming. He's gone back sulking to the bench. Bernardo Silva picks it up.
De Bruyne.
He's got De Bruyne. De Bruyne plays in
Foden.
Phil Foden. Phil Foden puts it across.
Haaland, oh my
Haaland gets
lord.
blocked. Bernardo Silva
what
gets
a
blocked
block
again
from
by
Dragon.
Dragusin.
What a
And he's
block.
loving it as well. What a block.
What a
What
block.
a bloody block. Spurs fans don't know whether to laugh or cry.
What a block from the
And he's loving it as
Dragon.
well.
Holds
Two
the
great
line.
blocks, actually.
Holds the line well. Oh, dangerous cross to Holland. Van de Ven, what a block there. And the Dragon, wow.
And he loves it. Look at him. He loves it. Look at his reaction. I love that.
And it's halftime.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, my Lord. Spurs. They are giving Man City a game here. They are giving them a game. Dragon, Vicario. Two probably ridiculous moments where Man City haven't even played very well, but in true Spurs nature, we are always a little bit ropey. We always will give you some chances. And I must say, Dragon there, he's just saved a goal. I was ready for that to go in. And then also with Vicario, Dave. Vicario pulled out an absolutely show-stopping save on top of it as well. I mean, what do you make of that first half? Spurs, probably the better team, but then weirdly have done incredibly well to defensively save themselves from actually conceding.
Look, Man City have been absolutely useless. I think Tottenham have been very good. I think Tottenham have been good in terms of getting pressure on Man City, not allowing them the time and space to be able to pick their passes. And you can see Man City almost becoming very frustrated with it. As soon as they get the ball, we're pouncing on them. We're getting our tackles in. Going forward is where we're letting ourselves down. Brennan Johnson had an opportunity. If he got his head up, someone's at the back post, float it over. You got a shot on goals. He chooses not to use them. Bentancur, all he's got to do is give that ball to the guy running through the middle, continue on his run. He's got an overlap on the outside, and we spurned it. Going forward, we're letting ourselves down. Weirdly enough, Man City have been shit, but they've actually had the better chances. They've actually threatened our goal more. You had the Guardiola one where he probably should have squared it, the Phil Foden one, and then that block there as well by Dragusin at the end. And it's weird because I'm not sure whether Spurs fans are crying or laughing, to be brutally honest. But we find ourselves here at half-time, Jack, in the same situation we found ourselves at the start of kickoff, weirdly enough, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of similar to how we were at the start of kickoff, where we were just kind of wondering how this game will unfold, kind of just go with whatever direction it ends up following, and we're still kind of left in, this indecisiveness, this sort of don't really know what to make of it, don't really know what side to lean on. And Spurs, I mean, the way I see it, Dave, is I feel like we are a team in this moment in time that do look like, I mean, we could score, we could get, a go-ahead goal, but City probably at some stage will wake up, get back into it, but it does look like it's going to be either a draw or a win for Spurs. That's how I'm kind of seeing it, but I'm not sure if we can really get the win knowing ourselves defensively, but also knowing, are we really going to score that many goals past this Man City team? I could see us scoring one, but are we going to score two in the second half? I'm not so sure. It's just because we're not really that lethal.
I think where Man City will probably, maybe get a bit of joy in the second half is probably towards the end of the game. How long can we keep up this intensity, pressing and stuff like that? You're going to have to make substitutions, which will probably weaken what we're doing. If we want a chance of winning this game, we have to sort of take a couple of chances earlier on in this second half. But going forward, we are so lackluster. We lack any quality whatsoever, and it's really, really frustrating to a degree. Man City, I don't know what they're going to do at halftime, Jack, because Guardiola looks fuming, the players are rattled, and it's weird that you see Man City in this position. Maybe this midweek game right before the big game on the weekend is maybe a step too far, or else they thought Spurs wouldn't put up the fight they did, and they're maybe surprised by it. But it'll be interesting to see how Man City handle this at half-time, because there's a lot of angry heads, and, sometimes that can sort of explode when you least expect it. So, it'll be interesting to see how they handle half-time, but they are absolutely rattled, and they are there for the taking if we want to go and win this game.
Man City are often a team, too, that do not like really getting punched in the mouth like this. They like to sort of just go into cruise control as quickly as possible, and then they are a hard team to contend with once they do get into that sort of mood, into that sort of feeling. But Spurs have really rocked them out of it, and Spurs have given them a yeah, rattling. We've really shaked them up here and given them plenty of things to think about. Dark Sun G says City must be regretting not getting more points. Lol. I love that this is the point. This is the emphasis that Dark Sun G likes to go for, because as much as we have been kind of a victim ourselves, or have been kind of hurting ourselves, with these defeats that we've had of recent, Dark Sun G, and putting ourselves in this weird position. Man City, yeah, maybe not the most convincing of seasons really for them either, right? Not the most convincing of campaigns, where they didn't get, the Champions League run that they would have liked. They didn't exactly go for the treble again. Maybe that's what was the big deal. And this sort of, of the title runs that they've had, this one is by far not their most convincing.
No, definitely not. There's been a bit. It's been a bit shaky here and there. But look, as for today's game, I genuinely believe they've got caught cold. I don't think they believe we would turn up in the manner that we have done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Dark Sun J, looks like we caught them cold. Caught them with a cold stunner. Jerome says, great defensive work from the boys. We need to have better passing in the final third. Højbjerg, please go already. Almost gave City a gift. Yeah, I think Højbjerg is probably anybody who wants Spurs to lose this game, they're probably loving Højbjerg's performance so far with some of the giveaways that he's had. He does make that sort of dangerous pass, though, Jerome. You could see, while he is being a bit of a liability with some of those errant passes, he also is the guy that will go for that line-breaking, kind of defense-splitting pass as well. And I think Man City have been kind of afraid of him being maybe slightly different to a Postecoglou, where Højbjerg really will go for sometimes just that, launched switch of play, or that launched, line, splitting pass, really, that is maybe a very hard pass to complete and a very hard pass to pull off, but he just likes to go for it, and that can catch out at Man City. It's always been there, as much as Ange has, like, maybe in his system, areas that you can exploit. One of Guardiola's has always been balls over the top, balls in behind their back line have always caused them trouble, I remember, over the years. And Højbjerg's gone for some of those, and we've had some great defensive work from a lot of the players too, Dave. That's what Jerome's pointing out.
Yeah, look, Romero's being fired up. He keeps... I feel sorry to Foden for a degree. He just keeps leaving stuff on him. If you're Foden, you're getting so pissed off, because you also got one eye on being available for Sunday as well. And if you're Foden, it's a really tough afternoon. Romero's been excellent. Do you know what? Dragusin has been good as well. Apart from that one moment where he sort of ran out, played himself into trouble, for the large part, he's been brilliant. And that block at the end, I mean, that was absolutely unbelievable. To a degree, I think Van de Ven has been caught out a lot of times by Kyle Walker. I think we're actually lucky that Kyle Walker doesn't have an end product. That was his biggest problem at Tottenham. He got into great positions, but was often underwhelming because he couldn't cross. Seems to be the same here with Man City. Pedro Porro, over the other side, to be honest, has actually had a comfortable sort of first half. He hasn't really had too much to do at all over that side. But I'd also argue the midfield is working very hard in front of them as well, getting pressure on the ball drum, along with that front line as well. Everyone's working hard to sort of consolidate us defensively. And I think this is the first time in how long that we've gone in at halftime with a clean sheet and something to hang on to, which is moments to show up, don't they, the drum? When it comes to Højbjerg, I mean, sort of sums up his Tottenham career. That pass he made in the first half to Johnson over the head, excellent. Then that one where he shanked to give to Phil Foden, sort of sums up his Tottenham career to a large degree.
Yeah, it's kind of funny where it feels like in the Spurs team, maybe apart from Højbjerg, it's hard to pick out any poor or maybe average performances from.
I don't even think Højbjerg's been poor though, Jack.
Yeah,
I think he's had a relatively decent game. It's just, he just has that mistake in him, I think is the point.
Yeah, but I'd say the majority of the team has looked quite good, whereas the Man City team, that's where I'd probably point out some very lackluster, very weird performances. Rodri, right, looking very shaken. Ugly Fish saying Phil folded in the chat.
Yeah.
It's I think that's right there, Ugly Fish. He's been underwhelming for them. But great points there made by Jerome. Really do appreciate your support as well, sir, as always. And Shawnee Maddox, good to see you, Shawnee Maddox. Wonder what your thoughts are on this as someone who definitely wants Spurs to win this. And he says, watch this be the first clean sheet in months. Let's get behind the boys. The 4-0 is still on. Also, let's get a debut for Moore and Hall. Come on, you Spurs. Let's win it. Well, if we're 4-0 up at the end of this game, definitely throw on Mikey Moore and Tyrese Hall, Sean Maddox. But Dave, what do you think? Clean sheet. Could that be possible? Is this the game that we saved it up for?
I mean, Jack, this is why I get infuriated sometimes. How long have I been speaking about clean sheets, wanting a clean sheet and stuff like that? You know, and, big games, Chelsea try and keep one, Arsenal try and keep one, we don't. Come into this game, then all of a sudden, wham, bam, there you are, a clean sheet, when many Spurs fans are sort of like, look, not really too fussed about this game, I'll take Europa League. And then all of a sudden, Spurs turn up, put in a clean sheet. Like I said earlier on, when was the last time we've been in at half-time? With a clean sheet as well. It's absolutely mind-boggling, Tottenham. But this is typical Tottenham. When there's no pressure, when there's no expectations, all of a sudden they turn up. Look, we'll see how the rest of the game goes. As far as Moore and Hall as well, I think if the game is in the balance for a large period, I don't think you'll see them. To be honest, I don't think you'll see Hall off the bench at all. I think he's more there as a precaution, really, or to fill out the squad, really. I think he'll be held back for Thursday. I mean, as long as Johnson keeps playing shit, I mean, there's always an opportunity for more, whether Andrew has the balls to throw him on in this game or not. But we already heard what Andrew had to say about some of these youngsters. He wants to play them in more of a stable environment. And I think you won't probably see any debuts till the back end of the Sheffield United game, last game.
Steve D can't cope with it. Looks like Michael can't cope with this from Poland. Plenty of people wanted Spurs to lose this game. Really
people saying, where's Tyre when you need him?
They don't know what to do with their emotions right now. Big up Shawnee Maddox. And the fact that you want us to win, I bet you've been very pleased, very impressed by the performance so far. Big up to you, Shawnee. And Martin Knightsbridge, good to see you, Martin, as always. Good effort so far. We just need a good forward. I think that's been said by a few in the chat. I think someone else might have put that in there. Jerome as well with you, Martin Knightsbridge, just maybe to combine the two. Big up to you guys. Really appreciate your support. Jerome saying if we had a target man, I swear we could have been up 1-0 at halftime. I mean, Dave, it's been sort of the theme for us this season between you and I about how much we have needed a target man to be able to play off of. Richarlison's done it relatively effectively. He just never has been consistently fit and available and playing, with 100% fitness. Just looks like Spurs, it's not really as much, as big of issues as people might think in the defense or in the midfield. I think Spurs' biggest issue has always been the attack. We just are a very wasteful forward line, just as simple as. And we also do struggle to play off of, a center type player, a guy who can play through the middle. We do struggle to play off of one.
Look, we're absolutely useless going forward. Look, to be fair, I mean, I'm glad that everyone's got to the point come the back end of the season that we're sitting here demanding a striker. I've been on this ever since before we sold Harry Kane. I tried to highlight the problem it's going to have. Look, I agree with Martin, and I've been also trying to make this point, and Jack, I think you sort of summarised it brilliantly on the pre-match build-up as well, that a lot of what Postecoglou has come here and wants to try and instill is there, playing out from the back, nice and comfortably into the midfield, that's there, playing through the lines into the forward line, that's there, pinning your opposition back into their half for large periods of time, that's there, possession-based, that's there. Where we lack is up front. The wingers don't know whether to cross the ball, and they're always resorted to low crosses of the ball because you don't have a target man in there. You have a striker in there as well, even if they do get to the byline and beat their man. A striker who's been playing there all his life, you can tell because they automatically have that feeling on where to go, where to arrive, whether it's back post, front post. And I feel like sometimes with Son, to a degree, when we're playing like that, he doesn't really know what moves to make. He more so just sort of moves away from it altogether. I think if you bring in a proper centre forward, I think it knits a lot of this all together, to be brutally honest. I think we've come far more potent. You go back and look at a lot of the goals we've conceded, especially in these big games. It's been from our forward line getting the ball turned over. And when it gets turned over as regularly as it does, that's what makes the midfield look as shit and all the massive spaces. Same with the back line. But if we actually executed in terms of being in possession and we had that striker to finish off the moves, you also kill the opposition belief, and then it becomes a different game altogether. So I agree with Martin, and I've said this. We devalued the role that Harry Kane had to play at Tottenham over the summer. We've learned our lessons. Let's go and buy a striker now this summer.
Big up Martin Knightsbridge and Jerome. Maybe we'll just get back to yours. I just thought I'd combine the two since they are in a similar sort of thread. and then maybe we'll give you some thoughts on who we might actually like this summer. Darksun G says this is their curse land. We are giving them a game. Was probably not mentioned enough, Dave, right? In our pre-match build-up, right? That sort of question of two players being two players, Kulusevski, Sonny. I know Kulu isn't playing, but he could come off the bench, and he's actually had very good games in the past against Man City, one of his favorite opponents. And Man City is one of Sonny's favorite opponents as well. Gives some people some further nerves. And then the other thing that, like I said, we should have probably brought up more was whether you want to win, whether you don't want to win, Spurs always show up against Man City. Even when the pressure is on, Spurs show up against Man City. It's the one we can count on.
We're their bogey team, aren't we? Every team has one. We're just their bogey team. Chelsea against us is our bogey team. No matter what they're going through, they turn up. When we're the same when it comes to Man City. I see Michael's comment in there. Big up Polish Mike. It's a weird one because you find yourself sort of being positive off what we've seen, and you're sort of sitting there half going, fuck it, will we just go for it and, try and go and get Champions League football and deal with the repercussions? But also, Tottenham just turn up when you don't expect them to. You put no pressure on them. In fact, if people wanted them to lose, they should have actually put pressure on Tottenham, said they wanted Champions League football, and they probably would have crumbled tonight, to be brutally honest. Look, what we've seen is very, very encouraging. I just question, where was that same commitment against Arsenal, against Chelsea, against Newcastle, against Wolves and shit like that? That's where it becomes really frustrating, Jack. If it's in us, then why haven't we produced it consistently and helped ourselves out instead of sitting here end of season, like we always sort of do? We always wake up when it's almost nearly too late and relying on a lot of luck. It's so fucking frustrating.
No, I mean, Spurs are clearly a very fragile team. When the pressure has been on, they've struggled with it. Really just simply has. We are a very fragile team mentally. We are clearly a very good team when we are playing well, when we are at our best, but we are a fragile one. As simply as. Just going to get the timer going, and we will get to the rest of these super chats, though. Really have appreciated the support and all the feedback and all of the opinions during halftime, guys, especially so many of you guys that have been regulars, throughout this season. Really do appreciate you guys joining us still for this very weird game, very funny game indeed. And Jerome, going to kind of combine again, maybe the two here from earlier, Dave Light, right? He said, if we had a target man, I swear we could have been 1-0 up at halftime. Darksun G says, this shows with a few more signings, we can fight with the very best.
No, I think we can. I don't think we're a long way away. But, it's not just a few signings we need. I think if we get just a few signings, I think it'll give you a very competitive 11. But we have to go beyond that. We have to create a squad because ultimately we can start off with what we've brought in, go well in Europe, go well in the Premier League. But when games are piling up, you've got injuries, you go deep in cups, you get a lot of games. Sometimes you can end up playing 3 games a week like we did under Jose. We had to play the game on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and on the weekend. They pile up very, very quickly, and that's where you rely on your squad, and that's often where we come unstuck. And managers usually have to end up picking between one or the other. So I think we're more than just a few players away. I think we need another good 6 or 7 in here, Darksun G, to sort of create that squad and combine it with what we've got and some of the under 21s. I don't think we're too far away in that aspect. And to what Jerome's saying about a target man, look, I'll make the argument, and I don't care whether people want to hear it or not. If we had Harry Kane in this season, we're probably sitting here today looking to beat Man City to be in the title hunt on Sunday.
Easy
I think that's
top
the
4.
difference.
Easy top 4 with Kane. Would not have been a question. Would have finished well ahead of Villa. Just maybe would have been probably competing with Liverpool, I imagine. That's where he probably would have been this season. Very, very good point there.
Big up, guys. Great conversations. You guys get the best out of us, at halftime sometimes. Big yourselves up.
Sar has been the target man, though, for today, I guess, Jerome. It's been Poppy Daddy Sar as our target man. Vic, though, with while we were talking, though, had a terrific save, everybody. Another insane save. It has been a defensive masterclass from a few of these guys in just individual moments. Romero, just all over the pitch. Bernardo Silva. Could it be another 0-0, Dave?
Romero's
that'd be insane.
If it's 0-0, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Like it was in the other game.
People's head in.
Until the very end, and maybe you get a stupid late winner. Gavardio. Kovacic.
Be interested to see how Man City react after that poor first half. Not a bad response here, though, I have to say. Who took that early shot, Jack? Great save by Vicario again.
I think it was De Bruyne.
Great save by Vicario. Bruyne with another sneaky ball in. It's gone too far. Pedro Porro picks it up. Plays it down the line to Papa Matasar.
What can he
do?
do?
You know what? For a guy that doesn't play up front, he's actually presented himself very well for the ball today.
Yeah, he has. Johnson. Oh, Sonny! Oh, my Lord.
Oh, do you know what? I would have been furious with Johnson. I mean, the guy hasn't produced fuck all season. And then, against Man City, then he provides that ball. It's a good ball, to be fair to him. It's actually a great ball.
No, it's a terrific ball. I mean, again, how does he play that one? But he misses the one against Burnley for Sonny.
The one against Burnley is more alarming because he just didn't even get his head up to look at him.
Jerome says, let's stop that shit about real Spurs fans will understand that City have to win this game. No, all of you lot just focus on Arsenal fan base and their bragging rights. Time to focus about your effing team. Jerome, listen, I actually feel people like yourself, people like Dermot, Sean, Maddox, those sort of people who do want Spurs to win no matter what and aren't that rattled really by what could happen, with the Arsenal fan base. I actually think you're better people than me and Dave, to be perfectly frank, because, right, you're not letting someone else or another team really get to your head. You're not letting it sort of diminish what we are trying to build here or distract from what we are trying to achieve. And I think that's a pretty impressive mentality to put yourself in. I just struggle with it. I'm a petty person, and I've said it probably enough times, Dave, but I think by the putting yourself through wanting your team to lose, it is like a sadly shallow place to put yourself through. It is a very, kind of a, dark place to put yourself in mentally. It's a weird thing that we even find ourselves having to do it, but I don't think anyone's really right or wrong. I actually find it, Jerome, to be honest, like always annoying when people sort of say, oh, you're not a real fan if, or, you're part of the problem because, that sort of thing. Like, fans are not part of the problem. Fans are not in any way, some reason for why maybe Spurs can be, this or that or whatever. I just find that always to be a sad thing to accuse one fan, your fellow brethren, your fellow fan, I think is always a sad thing to accuse them of, to be honest.
Yeah. Look, I get what Jerome is saying, and I also get the point that Dermot was making and everybody else was saying. I get that. It's just, and everyone's sort of basing that opinion off, well, let's worry about ourselves and our own mentality. Okay, great. But again, where was that when...
Oh, Haaland.
It's gone ahead here. It's a blind ball across. No one deals with it. It's just gone across the whole back line.
Haaland as well.
Oh, it's a soft goal to concede. A really soft goal to concede.
Kind of saw it coming with that run from De Bruyne. You wondered if
Porro gets caught out, not strong enough. Is that Romero not strong enough defensively?
Bentancur really, I think, was chasing him down the line there. And then it's really more this ball that De Bruyne plays. He makes a run.
Højbjerg just allows him to run, doesn't even go with him. It's poor. He can see him and he doesn't go.
Yeah. And then it's just maybe Vicario could do better trying to anticipate the cross. But it's a great cross to Haaland.
Oh, Man City 1-0 to the good. But Jerome, like I was saying, I do hear what you're saying, but what I can't accept is, we want to instill a winning mentality. Okay, but where was that when the fans needed it against Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Fulham, Wolves earlier on to a degree in the season and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. I get Anne Postecoglou's point of view. He doesn't want, the players to ever be in a habit where they're going to throw the game. And I didn't expect the players to come out here with that mentality. But I don't think many Spurs fans want Spurs to lose. I think my side of the argument is, if we lost, would I be as upset or would I pick it apart the way I would every other game? I wouldn't. Daxon G says, even with Kane, our defence injuries would be similar. Look, I don't disagree with that to a large proportion, but I made this point last year. I remember, Jack, I went and tallied up how many points Kane put on the board with his equalisers and his winners. I think it was, 22 to 24 points? That can't be understated, turning up in the big moments and stuff like that. And, some of the games where we've been caught late, if you had a Harry Kane, you probably go on and you dominate that game a little bit more and you don't give the opposition a chance to get back into it. So, look, maybe it's a bit of a stretch saying that would be, in the title race right now, but I think we'll be up there where Liverpool are for sure. I think it would make a huge difference, and I think it would have also alleviated a lot of pressure on Postecoglou right now because we would have looked so much better going forward.
Just when you wanted to maybe change your mind, get your hopes up a little bit, that's especially right after halftime. Right after halftime, not really the best of it. But of all the times, we've been punched in the mouth in goals, it's not the worst. It's not the worst.
The fact that Højbjerg failed to track De Bruyne, I wonder will many of them be saying, keep him now.
That was funny.
Oh. It's just such a sloppy goal to concede. Maybe it was the plan. Go on, put on a show for the first half, make it look like you're trying, and then sort of drop off second half. It was all part of the ruse. What VAR looking at here? We're doing a substitution. Who's coming off? Who's walked off the pitch there?
Bentancur, I think.
Was it Bentancur?
Yeah.
Kulusevski comes in. It's harsh on Bentancur. I thought he's done well today.
Felt that a few times this season when he's been subbed off early. I didn't really think he was that poor.
It's harsh. He's had a good game.
Dragusin.
First thing, Kulu. Where's Kulu playing? Through the middle?
You'd imagine. Sonny
Good ball
plays
by
down the
Sonny on
line
the
to Van de
overlap.
Ven. Not a bad
Not a good
ball.
Oh, unlucky. Oh. Tottenham trying to put pressure on Ederson. Stop popping about Sarr back there winning that as well. Oh, so Kulu's gone up top, Jack. Sarr's dropped back into the midfield.
Okay, that makes sense.
I was going to say, what the fuck is Papa Marta there doing, winning headers in the back line and also playing up front? He's all over the place. But yeah, he's dropped back now. Oh, he's playing in the deeper role, Jack. Something I said I wouldn't mind seeing.
Couldn't get under control, slightly ahead of him.
Oh, Bentancur looks furious. And he doesn't look injured either. Oh, no. Jesus Christ, he's nearly kicked the seat out of the ground. He's broke the seat. He's absolutely livid. He is fucking furious, Jack. Oh, my Lord, he is angry.
Wow.
That's not good.
Oh, sorry, everybody.
That's
Meant to change the score. Sorry, everybody. Thanks, Derek.
For anyone that's not watching the game, Bentancur went towards his seat, sitting beside Gill. I think Gill was terrified of him, and he just started kicking the seat. He nearly broke it. It's not good to see him that angry. Oh, Romero wins it back. Papa Mata Sarr on to Johnson. Johnson back to Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro into Sarr, back to Porro. Dispossessed. De Bruyne away with it. Sarr brings him down cheekily. Oh, he's done. He looks really hurt there, De Bruyne. Looks washed up. He's in agony. What did Sarr do to him?
He scraped down his heel.
Oh, it's a lovely knee to the ass as well. It's a
Scraped
dead
down his
leg,
heel.
that one.
Yeah, just there. That's what hurt.
Oh, yeah.
That's what hurt.
Oh. Oh, what do you think of Bentancur's reaction there, Jacko?
I'm not really sure what to make of it because I have felt like a lot this season. It's not the first time I'll say this, Dave, but I have felt like at times he has been taken off maybe slightly unfairly by Ange. I understand Ange likes rotation. He wants to try something different. That's actually where he isn't really given enough credit sometimes, where he is willing to make brave substitutions and brave changes, maybe sometimes to his own detriment. But he does do it more than than Conte ever did, really, or Jose ever did.
Yeah.
So I've always respected Ange for that. It's just the one player I've always felt like he's been slightly harsh to this season has been Bentancur.
Why do you think that is?
Not really sure why. Maybe Bentancur. Not really sure. I'm really not sure. I'm struggling.
Who's the Spurs fans doing the positive? See the other guys like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not being seen. But you know what, Jack? Just what you're saying there on Bentancur. I think Dark Sun G has brought it up in the super chat here. Let me just double check.
Oh, if Bentancur didn't get that yellow, he stays on for 90 minutes. That could be part of it. But it's also that Dark Sun G. I think you're right. I just want to stress first. I think you're right. That could be the reason why. But it has been a trend this season that he's been taken off usually first, or of the midfielders, oftentimes taken off first. And I wonder if he's like, last game at home, one of my last games of the season, and he still can't play 90 minutes. I wonder if that's frustrated him.
Look, Dark Sun G doesn't miss a trick, and he's probably right. That's probably why he was brought off. Because, look, do you know what? With the way we're looking to get combative with the Man City midfield, Bentancur wouldn't be able to make a challenge for the rest of the game. So maybe I can understand it to a certain degree now that Dark Sun G has probably highlighted that. But I actually do agree with you, Jack. You know, Bentancur has been brought off a lot. Perhaps, potentially, you're thinking he should start the next game. He doesn't start and stuff like that. And to a large degree, I think, when he's come off the bench this season, I think he's been very good for large parts of it, to be brutally honest. I'm not sure why Ange seems to be making this season a bit more harder on him. Because, look, I think with Bentancur, I think a large part of the frustration, Jack, is that he just sort of wants to get a couple of games under his belt, feel the rhythm, heading into next season. And because he's had a real stop-start season, even when he's got himself back from the 2 injuries, it's been stop-start in terms of the minutes that he's played. And I think it's all just sort of boiling to a point now for him where he's becoming largely frustrated.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
It could be a combination of a lot of things, Dark Sun G, but I think you definitely nailed it on the head for at least when it comes to this game in particular. But I wonder if it's just past frustrations, past kind of maybe, that sort of word, right? Frustration sort of building up and showing out in that one moment. I'm not going to say here, like everybody, I can't really look down on him too much for it. Obviously, it's not pretty. It's not great to look at. But competitive people, I'm kind of one of them, I'll be honest. Like, I've had some ugly moments in sports. Like, competitive people, will have that, right? Where it's just, it's hard not to let it out, especially when you're feeling like you're playing well, when you're feeling like, it's not really all you're doing, it's not entirely your fault. It can be really hard to know what to do with yourself, but it's not great to see. It's not attractive or anything like that, but it's nice to see he cares, I guess, if you're going to use the cliche.
Do you know what? That's a good point, Jack. You're right. Oh, it is nice to show that he cares, How many times have we seen players happy enough to come off and stuff like that, or dragging their heels and stuff? It is good to see that bit of fire and that passion, that he does care and that he does want to make his mark at Tottenham Hotspur. So you make a very, very valid point there. It's a Tottenham corner, and then we'll get on to Faz Radfire's super chat. Big up, Fazzy. Hopefully you're keeping well.
It's the 3-1 here, still on here, Faz. Your
ball in.
Storyline.
Tottenham pick it back up out the far side. Van de Ven to Salzburg. Salzburg to Kulu. Kulu looks for the deep delivery.
Oh, ouch.
Sonny nearly in there. I think he clatters Ederson. There could be a clash here. Is that in the face as well?
Yeah,
it's Romero.
Was not pretty.
Well done, Romero.
That was not pretty.
Nah, he's gone for the ball. Well done. He had every right to go for that.
Didn't look
right.
Didn't look like he really, like it was.
Could
dangerous.
The fact that he's Brazilian have something to do with how hard he left in on him there, Jack?
It looked like an ouchies. It definitely looked like an ouchies, but it was more like, was he done it? Has he done that with any real menace? I really doubt it. I really doubt it.
Oh, lad. I think he has. I think he knows it's Ederson. Look, don't get me wrong. I think he's got every right to go for the ball, right? Don't get me wrong. He's every right to fly in like that. But I think I want to look at it again, but potentially as he left his studs up, knowing that it is Ederson and he's Brazilian and the Argentinian-Brazilian sort of rivalry.
I think it was more his knee or his
I'm not
thigh.
complaining, though, because I absolutely love this about Romero, so fair play.
I think I could be wrong. I think it was more his knee or his thigh sort of like must have hit his face and sort of kind of clattered into him. Faz Radfart, though, saying this game proves Ange is building a big foundation. Faz, I said this earlier today, but I think Ange has delivered what Spurs fans have actually wanted, what they said the first time, what they said originally, not what they've maybe changed their minds to kind of over this season. But a lot of Spurs fans wanted an attacking, progressive style of play that felt like they could get their money's worth, that they felt like they
red
could
card
get
check.
identified with. Yeah, maybe just a second here, Faz, just to make sure it's not a red card.
No, go on, keep going. I'll tell you if it's a red card.
But with Faz, like, Ange has delivered that, or at least has showed the foundations that he can deliver effective and entertaining attacking football. I just think he's been let down a lot by the forward line this season. He needs better forwards. He needs more quality up front to be able to, get more goals and actually blow away teams more often. We don't really blow away teams, even when we play really, really well. Even when we look like kind of the better team in the first half, we usually don't get our rewards for it because we just don't have an effective enough of a forward line who don't know what to do often enough with the good situations, with good opportunities. They just don't know how to make the right decision often enough and consistently enough for this style of play. And this style of play is very risky. It has a lot of, ways that you can try to, expose it. But I think we've seen time and time again that we can run teams. We can really cause them problems. But if we're not scoring and if we're not putting the ball in the back of the net, it's inevitable that we will probably concede at some stage, in the game, or at least we will open ourselves up to conceding at some stage. And Ange, I think, though, just needs a better forward line, and we can find ourselves more often, I think, this season than we have this season, 2-0 up sort of thing at halftime, because that's not happened enough this season, us being 2-0 up at halftime. And I think we should be more often finding ourselves in that position, and that's down to the forward line for me.
Ooh, who's getting a yellow?
And
someone on the Man City bench
probably
is
Man
getting a
City
yellow.
bench. Probably Man City bench.
I think Romero stayed on anyway by the looks of it, and I protested the decision. But you know what, Jack, you're absolutely spot on. I encourage everyone to go and listen to what you said maybe in the first half or in the pre-match build-up. You're absolutely spot on. I think Postecoglou gives us a lot of what we're asking for. I just think we were sort of hindered when we sold our best creator and our best goal scorer the day before the season starts. And to be fair to Postecoglou, he's made it work over the course of the season. Hasn't been helped with Richarlison being injured. We've looked a lot better when he's been up front, Son on the left, Kulu on the right. And we haven't been able to roll that out a lot this season. But also Postecoglou's had a lot to deal with. New goalkeeper in there for the first time in a decade, new backline, etc. But I think a lot of it's there, and I think this is the one where we do need to show patience. I can understand, fans maybe not wanting to show patience to Jose and Conte if they didn't see a rebuild under them guys and that they maybe only seen them as a short-term sort of tenure. But I do think, Postecoglou, people were saying how much last year on the Conte, how much style of play meant. We've got it now, and I do think that now is the time to go and give the guy the backing. Look, don't get me wrong, the slapping at Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, not good. But I have seen enough earlier on in some of the other reverse fixtures against these teams to show that, just a bit more sort of quality there. I think we'll be all right under Ange Postecoglou, Faz Radfart. Big yourself up, my man. And we have one more super chat there from Orox Beats. Good to see you, my man. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you keeping? He says, I think it's because of his two big injuries this season.
Don't get me wrong. He's had a very frustrating season,
Bentancur.
Yeah. It's been very unfair to him. It's hard to know, how you would even battle back in the way that he has actually. To even come back a second time, I think is impressive. Don't want to bring the guy down here. He hasn't played, but just to use an example, Lo Celso and Sessegnon, right? Lo Celso and Sessegnon, how often are they injured and never seem to come back quick enough, or don't seem to even be pushing themselves, at least from the outside in, looking in. We don't seem to think that they push themselves that hard to actually get back to full fitness and really, bring themselves at least close to what they were before. And Bentancur, I think, has really tried that, and he must be frustrated, still feeling maybe some of the injury, or at least still feeling like he's not back to his original form, because before that big injury, he was looking like one of the best midfielders in Europe. He really was under Antonio Conte in that two-man midfield. And for Uruguay, he was having a terrific tournament. I just think he must be really frustrated that he's just not still back to that amazing version of himself, right? I mean, that's probably what it is.
No, look, the frustrations are definitely there for sure. For sure. It's it's difficult for him. It was a difficult campaign, and I think right now he sort of just wants to get a couple of 90 minutes under his belt before
Yep.
the season signs off, and it hasn't quite maybe panned out the way he wanted the tail end of this season too. Let's not forget, recovery is a long, dark place, especially when you're in it for as long as he was, and then to have to go back into it after 30 minutes on the football pitch, everything you've built up to get back out there, then he goes off again 30 minutes later. It does become very, very frustrating. Oh,
I don't even
I
think
don't know
it's
how.
that.
Do you know what? Fair play to Edison for getting up from that, Jack. Fucking hell.
Yeah, true, but I don't even know if there's that much wrong with what Romero has done. You really
No,
look at
there's
it.
nothing wrong with what he's done, but don't forget, Romero's flying in at it, with force, and Edison is almost static to a degree, so that will hurt. He didn't do anything wrong. He's well within his right to go for the ball. I agree with you on that one.
Ederson is frustrated being taken off, but it probably just has to do with maybe concussion
De Bruyne off
protocol.
as well.
Concussion
And De
protocol.
Bruyne is off.
God, it's just it's the day of kicking a chair. What? Ah, kick the chair, kick the chair. Ah, would have been great.
And De Bruyne is off as well.
Would have been great to have two guys just absolutely just kick the living, out of the chair today. That would have been great. You don't get to see that too much. It's been a real day.
Taking De Bruyne off is a risky move.
Yeah, it is. The water bottles, the towels, Dave, they've really taken a beating today.
I feel sorry for whoever has to clean up the dressing rooms after, because there's going to be broken shit everywhere. Romero again.
The kit man, yeah, Dave, yeah, the kit man has a real nightmare in front of him today.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a messy one.
Oh.
Who is it here? Bernardo Silva. Oh, Phil
Foden,
Foden.
you tricky little boy. Good defending. Who got that last ditch tackle in there? Papa Matassar.
He's been everywhere today.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, actually. He's my man of the
What
match.
a ball out as well by Papa
Yeah.
Matassar. What a ball. Oh, ref,
He's my
that's a
man.
yellow. That's a yellow. That's a yellow.
Good
That's a
hold-up
standard
play there
yellow.
by Johnson, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I didn't really know where he could have even gone with that touch.
Yeah.
Or what he would even would be able, where he could even go. And he did well there.
Just going to ask the question to people out there. Would you take a draw? 1-1?
I've kind of sort of caught myself.
We deserve it.
I really have, gone from just saying, I'd like to see us to lose to then just sort of whatever the result is, I'll be happy with it. I've been very impressed by Spurs' performance. I'm not going to lose any sleep over us losing, but I have sort of taken back a bit of my sort of maybe stronger feelings about us wanting to lose. Because, Dave, it's like physically impossible to cheer for your team to lose. Like it kind of, you feel a little sick inside sort of watching us play so well in the context of it all, but you can't like actually watch your team like, sort of like it's hard to like watch. Oh, good chance.
Oh, what a save by Ortega. Who was that?
Save.
On the bench.
Or it was Kulusevski.
He always plays well against Man City. Always scores against them. Look at that.
What a bounce. What a save. Oh my Lord. Ortega, lucky man.
Between his legs. Is that hit off his trailing arm?
It's hit
no,
off
it's hit off his nuts.
It's hit off his nuts, the inner thigh. Very lucky. Very lucky.
Oh, unlucky by Kulu. Very unlucky. Do you know what I can say? I can be proud of Tottenham's performance today. Regardless of the result, I'm very proud of the performance today.
Romero, playing out. Doku.
Again, he loves it, doesn't he? And again, go on, Rumble. Go on, Robbie. It's kill them all. It's like a war zone out there when he plays.
They must hate him, Man City. Oh, bad
She's already...
giveaway. Jeez, what are they doing? This has not been that convincing for Man City.
No.
Doku.
Gets a run at Pedro. Can Pedro hold him up?
Oh.
It's a ball across. I love Vicario. Maybe could have left that a little, but look, done enough.
Leighton Evelyn, are you a happy clapper by wanting to lose, though? I'm curious. Is it... He says proud of losing. He's proud. He's happy clapping over losing, Dave. It's a weird world we're now find ourselves in, Leighton.
Do you know what I would say, Jack? He predicts that we don't win every weekend, so you're bound to be right at some point. The law of averages. I think that's the game that Leighton's playing, the law of averages. Big up, though, Leighton. Good to see you, my man. But you know what I will say is, I think when you see Arsenal cry once the campaigns end and Arsenal have cried and they don't win the league title, I think many Spurs fans will find themselves probably relieved. Once the dust settles around it, I think. Tottenham goal kick. 18 minutes left. Can Tottenham conjure up a party spoiler here? I have to say, Dragusin's got a very, very good hairdresser.
I know. I was going to say, the man bun is just, it's perfect. It's better than Bale's. Oh. It's better than Bale's.
I didn't like Bale's. I thought Bale was, it just didn't suit him. He was a short hair sort of guy.
No, he always was a short hair guy. I agree. It was always too hairy, I think, his man bun. Whereas Dragusin has like a shine to it. Has like a slickness to it. It's very nice.
If we go and score, you watch Guardiola moan about Ederson having to come off because of the concussion protocol.
I would be frustrated if we got a goal, considering if we're not going to get the win. Like, I'd be actually cheering if we got the win. But
yeah, if you're going to win, go and win. Yeah, I agree.
But if they got the draw, I would be very frustrated.
People saying it must be a weird night.
Just frustrated for the table. Not frustrated really that much with the team. Like, I'd still actually be proud of the team for an all right performance. Like, because getting a draw off Man City is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But it's just like the draw does no one any favors. Like, doesn't do anyone any favors. So that's why I'd be a little.
Pedro Porro really
Johnson!
Here does he have the pace? Who gets back there?
Akanji. Can I have hot take for this season? Yes, exactly, Jazz Fusion. I thought BJ was fast. I really thought so. Like, Brennan Johnson, I don't think once this season has really shown...
You don't think he's that fast?
He hasn't really, for me, once this season, really shown the burners, maybe as much as I thought he had them. Like, maybe I'm missing it, but does he really show the burners like Doku does or like other players do, that have that sort of pace? Not always for me. Not always.
I'd argue where he lets himself down is the strength sometimes, because... you look.
He's not a small guy.
The quickest players across the world, they also have that strength. So as soon as someone tries to get physical, they have that strength to be able to blow by them. Johnson doesn't, which takes off the afterjets a little. Doku running up against Salzburg. Salzburg's well to show him backwards.
Doku again coming up against Porro, being helped out by Højbjerg. No one's engaging though. You gotta engage.
No. Two of them, that's where you want to be going and trying to turn the ball over when you've 2-on-1 there.
Rodri's so rattled he had to pull down the socks and go to the small shin pads. Oh, no. Radu.
Oh.
Well done.
Well done. Well done, Sar. He's been fucking sensational today. What a performance. What a player we've got on our hands. On FIFA, I've got him up to a 90 card. He's disgusting on it. He's so good.
Yeah, I bet he's like a Vidic or someone. Just like I said, he's so strong, Dragusin. It is real.
Yeah.
He is so strong.
Tottenham trying to look for an equaliser here against Man City.
Even the teammates did say that when they first played with him. They were like, yeah, they were actually kind of caught off. Yeah,
oh, Lord.
Yeah, he still needs, of course, a little work in the possession, but...
Fucking hell, what? I mean, I don't even think I've seen Dyer. I've seen Sanchez do that, actually. That's a feat.
But I do love that Spurs have, from the days of Davies and Dyer, we now have these like physical specimens, of center backs, right?
Yeah.
Like just these absolute man mountains.
Yeah, we do. We do. Be interesting to see what Postecoglou's long-term plan is with across that back line. Does he move Romero further up? Does he move Porro further up? It'd be interesting to see what he does. Does he not do anything? Tottenham controlling a bit of possession here. Rambam into Johnson. I was going to say the John Bomb there, but that's too far. He doesn't deserve that. Dragusin. Zinedine Salzburg. VDV. James Madison. He's really gone out of the game.
Yeah, I would say he started bright, but then faded.
It's a great ball, though.
Kulu.
We're going to score here.
Sorry. Matters. Oh, he has a run for Kulu. Dragusin. Højbjerg. Højbjerg looks for it. Great switch of play to Porro.
Great ball. We're gonna score here. I can feel it. Pedro,
Now for
blocked by Doku.
corner.
Corner kick. This is where we'll catch them.
Could we score from a set piece?
That guy Ortega's just in. Catch him cold.
Can we get the Dragusin?
Imagine he goes and scores the equaliser.
Kulu.
It's a short one again. Onto Kulu. He goes for the shot.
It's the closest shot he's had in weeks.
Well, that's doing him this service. He had the one earlier on where he hit the keeper in the bullseye.
That's true. That's true.
He hit him in the colonies.
And you know what also has been a thing this season for us is we love to also hit it way too hard in certain scenarios.
Yeah.
Like certain crosses this season, we've like absolutely belted it for no reason. And certain shots, like every time we've been outside the penalty area, we will just belt it. Like Basuma, Madison, all of them. Like it's very funny. I don't know why that is. Maybe that. Maybe
they all get excited.
I'm not good enough to strike a ball like they can, but I do wonder like where that comes from. Like, because surely
a lot of it
you
actually
always
comes
hear
down
them
to
say.
the technique, Jack.
I know it does, but you always hear them say like, oh, like he's leaning back, that sort of thing. I wouldn't always say that with some of these players. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, his head is down, his body's over it. He just looks like he's hitting it way too hard.
But you know what though, Jack? You go to the training ground. Them guys would put 9 out of 10 of them shots in. It's when they're under pressure. It's hard to replicate the match day scenario in terms of the training and that. Putting them under pressure, taking them shots, and that's where, when they're under pressure like that, it's different.
Madison shoe taken off by that challenge. That's a great kit. Who has that?
He's got my jersey.
Kit. Yeah, he's got.
That's the one I'm ordering.
Yep, Dave. There you go.
He's got that off classic football shirts.
That's long sleeve. It looks good. Kulu.
Oh, Jack, that's the one I was showing you that I want.
Kulu. Oh no.
Oh, it's at the post.
Oh my
He's just
lord.
won up the post.
Kulu giving everybody a heart attack.
He always does well against Man City.
Kulu,
He gets up for
I'm
it.
saying it to you, Dark
He wasn't
Sunji.
messing when he said he wants to win it.
Kulu and Sonny, those are my goal scorers. If we are to get a goal scorer, it's going to be Kulu or Sonny. They're the both.
Madison.
They're the deadly assassins to City.
See what people are saying in the chat to that one. King Huddle says City have been terrible to have. Got a super chat here, Jack, from Dan the Cartman.
Just a sec.
A donation to you guys for being so good with your streams this season. You've been very entertaining at the highs and lows and a part of being a spur onwards with the kamikaze football. Come on, you Spurs. Do you know what, Dan? I really do appreciate that, I really do appreciate that because although what we do looks rosy and stuff like that, it can be hard and it can be taxing as well sometimes when you're doing them one after another and they come in quick succession, and to find the energy for them and all sometimes can be difficult. But do you know what? Most of the credit goes to Jack. He's the one that is putting them together. He's one that sort of leads the watch-alongs and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that, Dan. And look, entertaining, some people would probably say the contrary. Some people would probably say talking shit. But I'm glad you do find me entertaining. I appreciate it, brother.
That's very nice of you, Dave. And very nice of you, Dan. I must be honest. I'm already in love with anybody that hasn't gotten sick of us by this stage of the season. Anybody that's even willing to go as far as Dan has, I'm already blown away by. Because I think plenty of times what I can say is complete gibberish or could be plenty wrong, in some people's opinions, but because it's hard to make sense of Spurs this season, it's hard to always have the answers. It's always hard to even put it in the right sort of words, in the right sort of framework for even people to see your point or to see where you're coming from. And I think we all have off days and slow days with it. And, certain times you get so rattled, Dan, right, by these results. You get so rattled by what you're watching that it is hard to even put it into words. So I do really appreciate that. Thank you, Dan. Very, very nice of you. And I'm glad that you have enjoyed, this season along with us. And it's lots of roller coasters and wouldn't trade them for the world with what we've had this season with you guys and also other seasons. I do love these roller coasters with you guys. They are great.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys out there make it bearable at times, especially going through the hard parts. To me, it's just like therapy, when you can have so many like-minded people that you can sort of share the same frustrations with and stuff like that. It's actually nice to be brutally honest. So thank you to all you guys out there, really.
Yeah, I'm grateful and thankful to anybody that doesn't hate our guts at the end of the season, really. So anybody that goes further than that,
Yeah.
it's I really am so grateful.
Mm.
Really appreciate you all. Scooter reacts with a great comment just on something different. It says, crazy to say this, guys, but this ref has had a blinder. He's had a great game. He says he's played blinder. He's had a great game.
Oh.
That's hilarious. We're just bringing down Phil Foden today. We're just Phil folding him.
Yeah, Phil fold him. 7 minutes to go, Jack. I have a feeling there's one more left.
I had a feeling the 1-0. I had a feeling the 1-0 of Man City. I wasn't that convinced that they were going to beat us by a ton. I wasn't that convinced by it. I did go for a 3-1.
I just feel like there's another goal in this game, and what way is it going to go?
Yeah.
There's one more big moment left.
I think we look like the more likely team to score, if I'm going to be honest. I think we look way more likely to score.
Oh, Haaland does well there. Play it around. They've got Doku over on the left-hand side. Does he choose to use him? He doesn't. Now he does. Jeremy Doku. Darren again. Doku. Porro. Terrible ball. He should have played him a lot earlier. Hell of a lot earlier.
Pop Matasar has been awesome this game, says Scooter Reacts. I would definitely agree there. He's coming off, too, so brilliant point to bring up there with what was a very good shift from him. He played striker, played center back, played center mid. Was short of playing goalkeeper in the game, it felt like Pop Matasar.
Do you know what? Could be one of the last moments we've seen of Højbjerg in a Tottenham jersey, or his last game at home. Really good servant to the club. Sad to see him go, but we have got to the point where we moved on and we do need a bit more consistent quality.
Yeah.
Rough ride. People forget, he came in here, he was tasked with mopping up behind Ndombele, Dele Alli and Lo Celso, none of them wanted to track back. Then, we ended up shipping them all out. He ended up having to partnership with Harry Winks and Skip and stuff like that. And I actually felt sorry for Højbjerg to a large degree here for a few years. And you know what? He's always been a warrior. I remember that guy being injured, and I think under Jose Mourinho, still stepping on the pitch to see out the game and stuff like that. And I think he deserves a lot of respect. On the flip side, thank fuck it's one of the last home games I'll see Lo Celso ever. Jesus Christ, that's been unbearable this season.
I look forward to doing a Højbjerg video at some stage when he does go and when we can, sort of talk about his whatever term you call it, legacy or whatever. Oh my Lord! Sonny in behind! It's a mistake!
Sonny.
No!
Oh, it's a save by Ortega. How's he missed?
Sonny of all people!
Oh, how's he missed?
Sonny of all people! Oh
how's
my
he
Lord!
Missed?
I was convinced it was in because it was Sonny as well. I was convinced.
Oh, he should have buried it, Jack.
What a mistake! Heart and mouth.
That was the one big opportunity I said I thought was left in it.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, it's a foul.
Oh, how was he missed?
Of all people in the world, Sonny.
Oh, that's Champions League football over and done with now. How was he missed that?
You wonder if
it was an absolute gift.
You wonder if Sonny thought about the league title for Arsenal with this moment.
Oh, it's just a great save. He hit it straight at him, to be fair.
Stretches his leg. Sonny didn't really go for the big finish. He went for the silky smooth one. Pep Guardiola nearly combusted there. He nearly
Imagine
combusted.
how many Arsenal fans. Imagine how many Arsenal fans were sitting there with pure glee on their face at that moment with Sonny running through, Jack.
So many people with crying emojis with Sonny. So many people with well done, son. Yeah, so many people saying I love Sonny even more.
Skunkworks says that.
Oh my gosh. I was convinced that was in, Dave, because it's Son. I was like, oh my Lord, that's the worst. I was like, that's the worst person to give that away to. Oh my gosh. That was insane.
Oh,
that was insane.
Man City fans' hearts in their mouths.
I would be, if I was a Man City fan, I would have been absolutely petrified.
I'd love to see what Arsenal fans were like. I'd say their eyes lit up.
Oh yeah, I bet they hate Son for that. I bet they absolutely hate him.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I just how has he not scored? If he would have scored that, we probably would have went out and got the winner.
Probably Lee Judge's Dave is doing that exact same voice that he did for Harry Kane for Sonny right now. He's just wow, nasty challenge from Phil Foden. That's a nasty challenge.
He's getting petulant now, Foden. He's taking retribution.
They're rattled, City. We could have, if we didn't have such an incompetent forward line. I mean, we could have easily scored today. I think it was someone in the chat said to me, in particular, saying we never looked like scoring Jack in this game. I mean, I say we did. It's just we have such a poor forward line.
Kulu's hit the post. Kulu hit the post, hit one straight off Ortega's nuts, and Sonny had that massive one-on-one.
I think we have looked like scoring. We're just that shit going forward. It's not been. I've grown a bit numb to it.
Bentancur had a great breakaway in the first half. Couldn't even get a shot on goal off it.
Sure, I'm saying if there ever was a time for Sonny to miss a one-on-one. Jeez, you don't see them often. Statue for Sonny, says Steve D.
Well, it's another long ball over the top here.
I mean, Man City, this was not a pretty win if they do get over the line. This was not.
No.
Jeez, this is heart and mouths for them.
Oh, I'd say their arseholes are clenching.
Dan says in my super chat should have been kamikaze. I think Dan or Dave did read that out, the way you wanted. Dan. Oh, can he get there, Romero or Pedro? Oh, Doku. Oh, sir! No! I said sir the wrong... Oh, no. Pedro.
What was Dan saying, Jacko?
Dan was saying, I meant to say kamikaze, and I was saying that I think you did read it the way he intended. Or the way he wanted to originally.
Oh. Yeah, no, we did get to it. Sorry if I butchered it.
It's not that we did get to it. I think he was saying he just wanted to correct his typo. Name the stand after Sun, says King Hoddle.
It's not penalty.
Yeah, it is, Dave. That's definitely a penalty.
Yeah, that's a penalty.
It's definitely a penalty.
It's the nail in the coffin.
This is such a weird day. It's such a weird. All the people saying get in and yes, that's so weird. It's so weird.
I'm not going to celebrate it. I'm not.
I haven't. I'm
not going to be furious.
I can't even do the way. Like I thought I would do the way for when Holland scored. I actually still had the same sinking feeling. When a team.
Let's see how the Spurs fans react when this goes in behind the goal. Let's see if they celebrate.
I still had the same sinking feeling.
Oh, 10 minutes added on.
AFTV pray along full of Spurs fans.
Haaland steps up. Come on, Big Vic, save this. I don't want to go 2-0 down.
Oh, wow. What a pen. God, what a weirdo
That's
Holland
the arrogance of the walk away as well.
What a weirdo Holland is.
It's the arrogance of it. Oh, well, just got to go and beat Sheffield United now on Sunday and secure Europa League.
We gave it a good go, I think. This is kind of like...
I'm proud of the performance today. I'm very proud of the performance
This is kind of what a lot of people were sort of feeling. Like, all right, if we don't get clobbered, not really going to lose any sleep over this. And I think we gave them a fucking scare, Dave. I mean, Man City, we gave them a scare. We gave them a scare. We were by far the better team in the first half. Second half, maybe a bit more split, but still, I think we weren't that outplayed or that outclassed in the second half. And still, I'd say we should have scored in the second half. We should have scored.
Yeah. Yeah, we had our opportunities. Again, we don't take them and we get punished. This is the continuous team. It does kill me seeing him celebrate too. But I mean,
it's more funny to see how nervous they were. It's funny to see how nervous they were and how much
they were rattled.
This was the weird game that everybody, we were going to be the title deciders. We've done it in the most weirdest of ways, being the title deciders. We have actually decided the title, but we've done it in the strangest of ways.
Let's see what Arsenal fans are saying now later on. It's going to be fun to watch them. Oh, they're gutted. They're gutted. Robbie is fuming. Lee Judges is fuming. You can see it. They're so angry and they're bitter. There's the hatred coming out. Before the game, they loved Tottenham. Now you can see the hatred on their faces
Another
again.
trophyless season.
Oh,
Another trophyless season for Arsenal. Trophyless.
I love it because before the game, come on Tottenham, come on you Spurs, and all this bollocks, pretending to be Spurs fans, big smiles, and now they're sitting there, and you can see the venom and the hate on their face. It's gonna come true.
Mikey Moron, says Sean.
Get him on or easy on?
He is on 59. There he is. I didn't get to see it.
Come on, Mikey.
There he is, Dave. He's right on the left.
Delighted for more. What about Tyrese Hall? Let's give him 2 minutes. Get the ball to Mikey.
Getting some touches.
Just get it to him.
Lo Celso.
Oh, what a run.
Into Kulu.
Pass it back to Mikey Moore. I have to say, Kulu's actually had a very good game since coming on today.
Yeah, he has.
What are them Spurs fans chanting? They look too happy to be losing 2-0. It's a corner kick. Oh!
Peno.
Nearly scored there.
It's a Peno. No.
Is it? Yeah, it looks like it could be a penalty here. The referee's asking. Or is he letting the substitution happen? No, he's letting the substitution happen.
Not amazing to see Mikey Moore come on. What a great.
Yeah, I'm delighted for him. I'd love to see Tyrese Hall get a minute as well,
Holland being
I just want Mikey Moore to get on the ball once and let's see what he's made of.
Yeah, Mark, I think it's brilliant to see Mikey Moore on. Really is.
Alvarez on for Haaland.
My little brother kind of looks like Holland.
Yeah, you were saying that to me before. We need to bring him on one day and certify it.
Especially when they smile. They kind of look the same. Danny Darko says, Jack, crack open the blue moon. Hey, I didn't have to,
Who does your brother support?
I didn't have to do it, Danny. I was actually didn't really want to open the blue moon. Even putting on this blue shirt felt a little stupid. Now when I really think about it, I feel a little bit more embarrassed having to do it. I feel like I look a little silly. But I was never going to go to the lows of doing the blue moon. I did it once, for the Newcastle Brown Ale. And that was a mistake because I did not like the Newcastle Brown Ale. And spending money on beer that you don't even want to drink. I'm realizing can't do it. Now Pep is so rattled, and God, man, I mean that turtleneck must be just covered in sweat on the inside.
AFTV is being roasted by Spurs fans.
Dragusin has had a great game.
He's had a very good game, actually.
Fair play to him, Dave. Taking his chance. We've had some criticism for him at left-sided center back. He has shaky moments. He doesn't look always the most convincing, but good game. Good game. Well done. Fair play.
Oh, just looking around at the Arsenal watch-alongs now, they are fuming. They're crying. It's great to see the pain on their faces. Can Tottenham get one back here, though? We deserve at least one.
Yeah, at least allow us one, City.
We deserve one. Come on, let's get Mikey Moore on the ball. Want to see what he's like running at them. More, more, more. How'd you like it? How'd you like it? More, more, more. Come on, Mikey.
Alvarez to Rodri.
Oh, no. City on the breakaway here.
They have Doku again. He's the only one that's been forward for them, Doku.
He's just going to bring this to the corner, isn't he? Oh, he doesn't.
Oh, he gets inside the penalty
to take
area.
The ball on.
Shit.
Why are we booting away like that? Just get the ball to Mikey Moore.
Bernardo Silva.
City on the attack again.
Plays it to Foden.
Man City just pissing about, wasting time here and now. Doku at walking pace now.
Yeah, in a way, you could probably say Arsenal fans are absolutely dejected knowing that we didn't really bottle this at all, right? We didn't like just throw the game away. We actually
Yeah,
gave them a lot of hope, and
yeah.
we still lost. It's kind of
But they know City ain't losing last game of the season as well. They know it's over.
yeah. And also, all of the Arsenal fan accounts that were on, for the fan show and everything like that are now coming back, to call us losers and call us, bottle
Yeah,
jobs and
yeah, yeah.
everything, to take it out on us. It's beautiful to see, really. Doku,
Doku!
great
Oh,
save
saved by
from
Vic.
Vic.
Man,
What a
fucking
save.
hell.
Dave, look at that.
It's like 4 yards out.
4 yards out, and he fired it at him.
Unbelievable.
Earlier, Rob Wallace, Dave, gifted out.
Have been gifted out.
Oh, yeah, you
What?
take it. Oh, yeah, he gifted out 10 memberships. Leighton Evelyn gifted one. Leighton, always definitely deserved one. Big up to you, Leighton. Jazzy Fusion. Cantab. Jazzy Fusion always deserved one, too. Let's be serious. Cantab 2. Big Red Machine. Chris Benoit. Robbie Keane. Big up to Chris Benoit and Robbie Keane as well. You guys have definitely deserved it. The Spurs bench. Darren West. And then Cathal Brown. And Nick Brown as well. All of you guys, I think at some stage or another too, have been members maybe at one point or another. So we do really appreciate you guys watching. And, occasionally very generous people like Rob can come into the stream and bless you with a membership. Big up, Rob. Thanks for all the support, especially last night as well. I think you gave some massive support too. So big up to you, Rob. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. No, big up, Rob. And by the way, you never got back to me in the chat to let me know how life's been treating you and stuff like that, Rob. But really appreciate the support. And you know what? He's been around a long time. He's been an OG. So really appreciate that, Rob, man. What an absolute legend. And hopefully all of you guys, can say thank you to Rob as well. And, you will get members-only content and stuff like that. And if anyone else out there wants to grab yourself a membership, it's a great way to support us. It's a small fee every month. Feel free to do the same. What about 30 seconds left in this game? People having a go at the people talking about Arsenal fans. That's it, over. It's game over. Man City 2, Tottenham 0. That means that Tottenham should be playing Europa League. Just have to get over the line. Last game of the season against Sheffield United. Either pick up our point or I'd like to win it. End the season on winning ways. Oh, it's not over. Still a minute left. I thought it was over. They fooled me.
Well, Ange lost. Sort of did everything he could, probably not to piss off either side of the fan base with that one. Well done to Ange. Rob Wallace saying, I'm good, Dave and Jack. Just very busy, but always watching, listening. Keep up the great work. No, Rob, thank you, sir. Thanks for being so kind to us over these years, my man. Yeah. And also as well, I think it is always a nice touch to donate, to others, right, with the memberships and everything. Because a lot of people I have seen in the past have taken advantage of it and then haven't looked back, right? Yeah. And then they ended up getting it themselves and coming onto the fan shows regularly, that sort of thing. So thanks to people like yourself, Rob. So really do appreciate you, sir. But Dave, I mean, it's sort of strange. I think kind of both fan bases maybe satisfied, would you say? Like kind of with the heated debates over, people wanted us to win and wanted us to lose. Like Spurs fans who wanted us to not just give it to Man City probably saw some effort out there and saw a relatively convincing performance, just that we have had a lot of struggles with putting the ball in the back of the net, despite a lot of huffing and puffing and creating good opportunities. But then the people that you could say wanted us to lose or whatever, satisfied that it just happened and, and happened in some fashion. So it's funny that maybe Ange has achieved a happy medium here.
Look, By the way, I think we're probably going to get an explosive press conference after Ange went down the tunnel fairly, very quickly there after the game. Interesting to see there. Look, Jack, I just want to say I've absolutely hated this week. I've absolutely hated it. You know, we've been split sort of on where we stand and stuff like that. It's not a week I ever want to be a part of again, to be brutally
Yeah, I
honest.
didn't like it.
But what I will say is, hopefully now we can all get back on the same page for the last game of the season and go and push to secure that Europa League spot. I'm just glad it's out of the way, to be brutally honest, because I do not like it.
Yeah, good
What I
point.
will say is I'm proud of how we went about it today. We put up an effort, just didn't take some of our chances that fell our way. But that's been the story of the season in general. You know, we create a lot, we play well to a certain degree. We just don't take some of our chances that present themselves, and maybe we don't create enough either, you know, that as much as maybe we should with what we dominate. But I'm just glad that this week is over. Hopefully again we can get all on the same page. But what I will say is, am I going to enjoy the glum look on the Arsenal fans' face and their fallout on social media? You bet I am.
Yeah. I mean, losing, like, still, even in this context, really doesn't feel that great. Like, you still kind of feel pretty sick or a little weird inside right after it. But it can be, I guess, made better by at least watching the Arsenal tears and by watching kind of the Arsenal
Yeah.
misery from it. It's a bit of a coping that can be done. And we usually do it on a regular weekend, right? Where if we end up dropping points and we end up losing, well, then use probably their own downfall as a bit of coping for ourselves. And I guess this is a version of it, maybe in this situation, but it still didn't really feel that great to lose, Dave. I'll be perfectly honest. Like, I'm glad it
No, it never
wasn't a
does.
draw. It had to be one or the other for me. Just had to be one or the other. It had to be either we win or we lose. Um, it's just because the draw, while it might have still been a good performance with a draw, just did not help at either side, really. I think it would have left us in kind of both people with both opinions would have been kind of left in misery, kind of with that one. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's hard to know. I think a happy medium was weirdly
Look,
achieved.
look, it feels shit, right? But at the end of the day, this is going to sort of hurt up until tomorrow afternoon or until later on tonight till people see Gooner fans crying, you know. But, you know, if they would have won the league, or, well, they still have a chance, but if they would have won the league, that'll hurt a lot more and you'll hear about it a lot more. You'll never be able to sort of forget it to a certain degree. Look, nobody likes losing. It was always going to be a tough ask tonight coming up against Man City, come the business end of the season. They just roll out. We put up one hell of a fight tonight. We really did. But look, we know what we're going to achieve next season. Hopefully Europa League. I'll take that over the course of the season, Jack. You know, it's been a big season of change. It's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot surrounding it: suspensions, injuries, players off representing, you know, trying to shift out some of the old guard, bring in some of the new guard. There's been a lot of change. I'll take fifth at the back end of this campaign. From what I was expecting to end into this season, we've overachieved. And I think, although tonight is disappointing, I think in general, okay, it's not a trophy, and I get that. But I think when you look back on the season and what you were expecting, I think we can sort of be generally okay with what we've seen this season and be sort of okay with what we're being rewarded with at the end is the Europa League. We've got back European football here next season. And I think that's what we should actually focus on a night like tonight. Is the fact that we're getting European nights back at that Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It doesn't matter what sort of level it is. We love European nights. And also, how shit was it this season having no games midweek, not being a part of the European fun and stuff like that? We're back in it. And that's one positive we should take from tonight.
Yeah. Sean Maddox just saying goodbye. He maybe like plenty of other Spurs fans. He says, "I can't hang out while fans celebrate us losing. A silver lining to see more though. Get his debut, but not satisfied with losing ever. Appreciate the fight though from the boys." And I think even people like yourself, Sean, who really did not want to see us lose, still at least had a silver lining of the Mikey Moore, of course. But then also,
Yes.
I think just the fact that it wasn't a bad performance really from Spurs for the most part. Really wasn't. It wasn't a dreadful one. Wasn't as painful to watch as it was with the Liverpool game, the Newcastle game, and others like that we've had to go through recently. This one was far more convincing, far better to get behind and to sort of believe in for sure. And I agree, Dave, that what you had said earlier, and maybe Sean, if he's still listening, would appreciate it, that no matter where we sat on the fence on this whole thing, it did not really feel good, and I'm really glad that it is over. I am glad that it is over. It was a weird moral situation to find ourselves in, and I don't think there really was personally a right way to look at it or a wrong way to look at it, and I'm just kind of glad it's all over. And in some sense, like I'll probably repeat for the 5th time now, I do think, strangely enough, a happy medium was achieved, maybe for a lot of people, where I don't think Ange is going to be ripped apart by the people that wanted him to lose, but then I don't think he's going to be ripped apart by the people that wanted him to win. So I think there's that maybe was achieved, I guess.
But you know what? I see a lot of fans blaming each other and stuff like that. It ain't the fans' fault that we were in this position. Fans, at the end of the day, were put in a position and they picked what side of the fence they want to be on tonight. But make no mistake about it, was the players that put the fans in this awkward position tonight. So let's not blame each other for it. Look to the real culprit and blame the real culprit for it, which was the players, especially in that Arsenal game. That's where we really needed to turn up. We very rarely lose at our place in the North London derby, and we didn't show any fight. We were 3-0 down and handed it to Arsenal. So let's not forget. Let's not blame each other for being in this position. We were put in this position because of the players, and we were forced to pick what we wanted. Either or. The outcome was never going to be good for us. Never.
Also, we have, it looks like, super chat from a user saying, happy with that. Now Newcastle and Chelsea are sniffing. Well, if you look at the table here, Newcastle, they still have to play tomorrow. Is that right? So, and Chelsea need to as well. They pick up 3 more points. They find themselves only 3 points behind us. Does that then mean, we sort of do need Newcastle?
All we need is a point against Sheffield. All we need is a point. They're already relegated.
Right.
We should, don't get me wrong. I think it's their last home game of the season. They'll probably want to salvage a bit of pride. But if we don't pick up a point there, again, you've no one else to blame but the players. That'd be shocking if you don't do enough there.
I think it was Jason Bell, actually, who threw me off a little bit because he was saying we need to jump ahead on goal difference. But Jason, I think, hate to call out your comment because we know we love you, but Jason, I think Dave is correct. I think all we need is just a point against Sheffield United. And don't get me wrong, Spurs will always make you nervous in any sort of situation, but surely they should be able to get over the line there. A user, though, is probably saying something similar. He's hoping that Spurs can still get the job done this season and still take some pride from it with Newcastle and Chelsea sniffing around. And I think it would have been really embarrassing, actually, with I know we had a tough run of games, but Newcastle and Chelsea or Man United had one of them caught up with us. I think that would have been pretty embarrassing because we were so far ahead of them at one stage of the season. And Aston Villa were always kind of neck and neck with us. But, the fact that we did sort of let them back into it is pretty crazy. So we have to finish strongly.
Look, the finishing strongly the back end of this campaign was always going to be a difficult game, Jack. I did say with them big fixtures, it becomes more than just heading into a big game and being up for it. If you don't get off to a good start, it becomes mentally and physically draining, almost to a point where you're like, when's this going to end? And it felt like that over that course of run of fixtures. Look, we are where we are. Like I said, I'll take Europa League heading into next season. I'm just glad we've got some sort of European football back here. I'm disappointed it's not Champions League, don't get me wrong. But that wasn't lost here tonight. That was lost when we were 1-0 up against Wolves with on the 90-minute mark. We conceded 2 goals to drop points there. That was lost when you're beating Aston Villa and you allow them back into it on our home patch. That was lost when we rocked up to the worst Chelsea team in over 10 years, 20 years. And we allowed them to sort of play us off the park to a large degree. That's when it was lost. It was never lost tonight or over this sort of huge stretch of games. It was the likes of Fulham, them games where we lost it.
I completely agree. This game was actually their fault for even putting ourselves in this situation to begin with, to have to go through this sort of mental confusion and mental battles of what we actually wanted, what we really, thought was best for the team or what we thought was best for our even mental health as fans. And for them to even have to put us through that was, a huge, huge burden, really. And they definitely owed us one for it. And they owe us still at the end of the season. They owe us in the last very game. They need to get over the line. They need to deliver that Europa League because, while I think they've gone through a ton of kind of obstacles and a ton of really unlucky moments, we also still had a very in a sense, Spursy record in that I don't think any team, had ever dropped out of the top four from the position that we had found ourselves in at one point in this season, right? So Spurs have to, in some way, finish with, significant European football. And I'd agree with maybe some people that would say Europa League, sadly, might be, for right now, a bit more of the competitive level that would be more realistic for us if we were to actually go far into a tournament of any kind. The Europa League, though, I will add, trickier tournament, I think, each and every year. Hence why, what was the last team that even won the Europa League? I think it was Chelsea, and then not too many teams before that. So it's always been a very tricky tournament to navigate for English teams. And I hope that we can be one that can do that. But I'm struggling to think of more things to say, really, other than I guess we just look forward to Sheffield United and get the job done.
Yeah.
And I echo once again what you said earlier, that I'm really glad we are now over the line and this is all over, that we can now maybe come back together as Spurs fans and stop hating each other over what we thought of in this whole situation. I am glad it's over. It felt gross.
Horrible week, absolutely horrible week, horrible position to be in. Do you want Spurs to go out and win? Do you, by doing so, you hand Arsenal the title, which is sort of unbearable, to a degree, but you also don't want your club to lose a game. Look, horrible week. Thank God it's over. I'm not going to sit here and say anymore. I'm not going to sit here and be joyous that we lost. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that all them Arsenal guys who set up their watch-alongs today are sitting there crying at the end of it and stuff like that. But all I can say is thank fuck this is over. We'll be back tomorrow with sort of a Twitter reacts. We'll go through Twitter, dig up some stuff, gold for you guys, put some smiles back on the fan base, and we'll head into the last watch-along of the season. And all we need is 1 point to get into Europe. So let's see how it goes. But that's it from us. I have nothing more to say on it.
Neither do I.
Look, I'm sorry that I played my part in it. Everyone's played their part in it to a degree, by picking a side of the fence. Horrible. Thank fuck it's over. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
And everyone, while we're signing off, really massive appreciation for anybody that has supported the channel today, that has even expressed their opinion on this tough, sort of situation. Thank you again to Rob Wallace for the generosity for gifting out so many memberships, and please do take advantage of it. People, last big fan show this season, right? Upcoming Monday, where you get to wrap up the season with us. Dan, really appreciate the kind words from earlier. Dark Sun G, Fast Radfire, Jerome as well. Jerome, if you're still listening, really want to see you come on the show at some stage soon. Martin Knightsbridge, Shawnee Maddox, Daniel Larson, Shemtan, and Koi's Forever. Really do appreciate you guys. Dark Sun G too. Hopefully he's okay after seeing Sonny miss that one-on-one. I wonder what that put Dark Sun G through. But Dave is right. I think we'll leave it there. Expect a Twitter Reacts tomorrow. Please, everybody, look out for that. Will just be more mental pain that Dave and I will try to navigate for you guys with that Twitter Reacts. And an under 21s is happening tomorrow for Dave. So Dave, maybe tell them
Thursday.
about that. Oh, not Thursday. Thursday, sorry.
So guys, before you all go everywhere, the Tottenham under 21s are in the final of the Premier League Cup 2 Thursday night. They have a chance of being successful. We've watched, Donnelly get his debut this season. Dorrington has been called up to train at the first team. Hall was brought in, to the first team squad today. It's a huge night for them. I would just ask if everybody could really get behind them Thursday night, Get on social media if you can. Wish them the best of luck. And let's really get behind them for this game. And hopefully they can deliver some success. So hopefully you can all join me Thursday night for the watch along. Myself and Jack will be there. Let's see how we get on. But look, also I would say if there is any of them or any of the families that might be watching, please wish them the best of luck. And let's go and fucking bring home that trophy.
All right. Everyone, appreciate you going through this mental battle with us. It's all over now. Rest up easy. Enjoy maybe some of the Arsenal tears if you can. And we'll see you all tomorrow for a bit more content and for the rest of this season. Smash the like button, please, for us on the way out. Thanks to everybody that helped us out today. And we'll see you later. Come on, you Spurs. Big Ange, we trust. We never stop. See you, everybody.